What's up?
Dude, I got it just in time. I was like, I got back, it was like 5, 4. I'm like, oh, fuck, I just made it. Yeah.
You also did not make the 2-minute F-bomb timer. Jeremy.
Nobody's perfect. We're not monetized yet anyway, so fuck.
Yeah, true. Yeah, literally. I'm sitting here waiting. I was ready at like 7:10, like ready to go, and I'm waiting on Jeremy. He's like 5 minutes. I
was running late tonight, which goes perfect with tonight's topic because it was fucking stressful because I was running late and I hadn't even set up anything for the podcast yet. And I don't know if people have heard me bitch about it before, but like my cigar room, which I love, is also where I shoot. Well, unfortunately, it's only big enough to be a cigar room or some place to shoot in. Like it can't be both at the same time. So like all my furniture has to go against the wall in order to fit the table and the lights and the cameras and the tripods and all the things in here. So like I have to like break down the whole room and put it back together every time. So I was like, I don't know, 40 minutes left and nothing was set up and before we were live. And I'm like, so I'm trying to like set up everything, get all the cameras right. And then I realized when I was talking to you, we first got on here, I hadn't even posted anything about the podcast today. I'm like, well, I'm doing good. I'm doing great.
Yeah, every week Jeremy's like, I'll get you a photo.
I got you one today, bitch. I don't want to hear it.
Like 30 minutes before we go live and he gets me a photo. And I'm like, I already posted this thing like 6 hours ago. What are you doing?
You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take like one day when I'm shooting, I'm just going to take like
400 photos.
Yeah, I'm just going to take like 50 because I don't normally shoot in landscape. Because most of my photos I shoot specifically for Instagram, right? So I shoot in a portrait because it looks better on Instagram because you get more real estate that way. So rarely do I have a portrait. So you're like, hey, you got any photos? I'm like, yeah, dude, I've got like 400 we could put on there, but they're in the wrong crop. So one day when I'm shooting, I'm just going to shoot like 50 random like whiskeys and knives and like stuff like that, just so we have thumbnails for podcasts.
That'd be great. Before we go any further, I've got a little bit of a scoop here. Breaking this. Yeah, this is an exclusive.
Is this breaking news? Oh,
breaking news.
Do we have like a we have one on here.
Do we? Maybe you do.
Can you hear any of these? Are any of these turned up? Hold on. I can't hear any of them.
No, just stop hitting buttons. This is terrible.
I can't hear them. When
all you have to do is hit the green ear button at the bottom.
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
There is. Nope.
No. Okay, this is bad. You got to stop.
Hold on, wait. There's one. I don't know. They're really. It's like a kid with a toy. There really is. I thought there was like a breaking news one on there, but anyway.
No, there's not. But this is a very big scoop. You guys are not going to believe this. I was editing the podcast last week and I heard something and I was like, no, that can't be right. And I had to play it back and listen to it like 4 or 5 times.
Oh no, this is you.
You're not going to believe this.
No,
you guys.
That was your editing, bitch. I did not say that.
You guys are not going to believe this. But this happened. This was in the podcast. Just listen to this.
I normally like to drink coffee. I want that caffeine, baby. And I know this is going to sound super like bouge, but I can't disagree. I enjoy a good Truly if it's within your wheelhouse and something you can, you got the budget for it. You know what, dude? You edited that for me saying I did not say I enjoy a good Truly, you dick face. I absolutely never say I enjoy a good Truly. That's just.
I just heard you say it.
Dude.
Everybody did.
Yeah. It's like one of those things. You can't believe what you see on the internet, bro.
I didn't see that. I heard it.
Wait, hearing's even worse because let's be honest, it's way easier to dupe somebody with audio than it is with video. Because video, you can see cuts, you got to be creative. Audio, man, you can slice and dice that shit, but you can have somebody say anything the hell you want them to say.
I heard it. That's all I'm saying. It's there. Take it or leave it. Jeremy's going to claim fake news, but hey, we all heard it here. So
yeah. I hear you. Did you send that to me or something or what? How did that? I think you texted that to me like the day after the podcast or something. I was like, you son of a bitch. You slander. There's going to be a slander lawsuit. This, you son of a bitch.
I did a long cut and a short cut. I think this is the original cut that I made.
I enjoy a good Truly.
That's all it said. But I felt like I really had to step it up with that whole, like, I needed the build up.
I normally like to drink coffee. I want that caffeine, baby. And I know this is going to sound super like bouge, but I can't disagree. I enjoy a good Truly if it's within your wheelhouse and something you can, you got the budget for it.
I spent entirely too much time working on that to make it sound as good as it did.
I will give you, it sounds very good. Like you can't hear any, you did a good job on the edit. You timed it right to where it sounds natural. I will give you that you did a good job. You're a complete asshole for spending valuable time doing just to screw me like that. But I will give you, at least if you're going to be a dick, do it right. Right.
Hey, yeah. No, as soon as you said truly, like you put emphasis on it in the podcast last week, and I called you out on it, and I said, I heard you say truly, and that's all I picked up. But as soon as you said it like that, I was like, I got to do this. I know that I've got to do this.
You know what the funny thing about that is? I might actually like it. I don't know. I've never had it. So the funny thing is I talk all this crap about it like it's horrible, and I could drink it and be like, this is the most delicious shit I've ever had. Like I've never had it. So,
you're not going to say that, but it's not bad. It's not great. It's just
I've never had that or White Claw. They're always in my refrigerator because my wife drinks them, and like all of her girlfriends, well, prior to lockdown, we haven't seen any of our friends in months, but they all drink them. So I've seen them around, but they're always like super fruity flavors that I'm just not interested in. Right. Like if I'm drinking alcohol, I've got no interest in drinking mango Bahama Blast. Like it's like, what the fuck is that?
They have some lemonades that are actually pretty good. But really? the thing is, like, if I show up somewhere like a lake, like we go to the lake sometimes, or in the summer we'd show up, and if there's like Bud Light or a Truly, I'm gonna take a Truly because Bud Light tastes like piss. Like
you just that's why I drink it. That's like America's like second favorite beer or first favorite.
I'm a beer snob for sure. Like
is that number one or number two Bud Light?
I don't know, but like
the big boys are Miller Lite and Bud Light, right? Like those are the probably the two best selling beers, right?
I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying like I'll drink it. It's one of those things. Like if I'm at a lake or having a pool day or something, I'll have it. I'd prefer like an IPA, but also if you drink IPAs all day, you're gonna feel like shit the next day.
Now,
they're heavy and they're going to give you those stinky ass farts, those sulfur farts.
Don't you mean you're not supposed to have those all the time?
Dude, you drink a couple hazy IPAs and they are going to be rank.
No, dude, you want to talk about bad like stomach problems. I mean, if we want to start the podcast off on a bad note.
I mean, we're going there anyway, guys.
I've been on antibiotics for like over a week now, which is, by the way, when we get into what we're drinking, why I've got coffee again tonight, because you're not supposed to drink alcohol and antibiotic. And antibiotics destroy my stomach, dude. So my stomach has been a fucking hot mess for like the last week. Do antibiotics mess your stomach? I avoid antibiotics like the plague because I am in camp. Antibiotics are horrible. I mean, don't get me wrong, they serve a purpose. There'd be a whole lot of dead people out there if it wasn't for antibiotics. Prior to the invention of antibiotics, motherfuckers died left and right from stubbing their toe, right? But I'm not like an anti-vaxxer or anything crazy like that. But like I try to avoid taking antibiotics at all costs because of what they do to your gut biome and all that. And I just feel like they generally are not good for you.
I've not taken antibiotics in 12 plus years. I don't know. I've not been sick really. I had the flu once and I've had some weird things. Dude, I woke up one day, my lymph node was swollen so far out that you could see it. And my neck was like sticking out, and I was supposed to go to a party. Alex is like, "You going to the party?" I'm like, "It hurts to like think. I'm not moving." And I know it was the most miserable I've ever been, but it lasted like a day and a half and it was gone. I've just not been sick a lot in a long, long time.
I actually have had a really good run of not having to take an antibiotic. It's been years and years since I've had an antibiotic, but I'm on one this time. And I'm taking a probiotic along with it to try to help, and I saw somebody in the comments said yogurt. Yeah, I've been eating yogurt and doing all the things you're supposed to do to kind of help, but my stomach just not appreciate antibiotics at all.
Old age, man.
So
old age comes in like a wrecking ball.
If you hear me run off in the middle of the podcast like Dumb and Dumber, like with the walking farts going that way, it's because my stomach exploded and I was going to either shart on camera or run to the bathroom. Then I'm drinking coffee too, which by the way also doesn't help.
I'm actually drinking coffee as well. This is what I was talking about from Trade. This is
which one is it?
Method Coffee, I believe.
Yeah,
whatever it is, it's really good.
That was the one that, if I'm not mistaken, that's the one when me and the wife did the blind pour over challenge type video. We did that was the coffee we used. There's one I got now. I think it's either called Black Panther or it's just called Panther, but it's a Brazilian single origin. But dude, I'll have to take a picture of the bag, and next time you order from Trade, maybe you want to pick up a bag. It's delicious.
I'm going to ask this, but I'm pretty sure I know the answer. What knife is in your pocket?
You don't actually, because you sent it back to me. I carried this for the last couple of days just to see how I felt about it.
I'm glad you like it, because I don't.
I do. Here's the thing, right? So it is the
Kaiser Feist Vanguard. No, it's not a Vanguard. It's not.
I like it, and in certain situations, I think this would be great, right? I feel like this is a good, like, little bit of a dressier knife. Right?
That's a good knife to stab yourself with.
Well, it's
dude, the Feist is one of the only knives that I have actually, like, I cut myself sometimes, and it's usually from like my knife dropping shut on my finger and cutting me or something like that. That Feist, when I'm closing it or when I was flipping it open, dude, I jabbed myself in the center of the hand so many times. Dude, that thing fucked me up.
I have yet to do it. So there's some Taylor DNA on this?
No, on my Feist that I had a long time ago.
But I feel like it's a very sleek knife. It's not one that I'll carry a lot because I really like a bigger. We've had this conversation. I generally carry bigger EDC knives, but I do like it. I think if I was wearing dressier clothes or something, this is like a nice, like smaller, lower profile. It's a little bit more gentlemanly looking knife too. Like it's not aggressive. It's just very clean, straight. I do like the fact that it's got a milled clip instead of like a spring style or whatever. I don't know. I think it's a great knife, but yeah, that's what I'm carrying today. The Feist in micarta and black. What is that? DLC coating?
Yeah,
it's a S30V, S35.
Oh, S30V.
No, S35V. You're right. It's my old man.
I am carrying something new to me.
Oh, looks like a weed knife.
It is. Well, it's not technically branded weed, but it is a Ferrum Forge Stinger.
Ah, very nice.
And
it looks like a weed shape.
Yeah, Ferrum Forge does a lot of designs for Wii and Civivi.
Oh, gotcha.
But this is like, so this is part of my $100 knife video. This was one of my picks.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, it's great. You get Nitro V in a folder, which is a very good steel. You have a flipper.
That's not one I've heard of.
Yeah, it's less common for sure, but very, very small cutouts, but you can still Spidey flick and thumb flip this open.
Looks like it's got good ergs.
It does.
It's got good ergs on it. I like any knife that has that little choil up there that you could choke up on it if you need to. I'm a big fan of that.
And it's got a good clip. Really deep carry. Very, very small, slim clip.
How do you feel about that, by the way? Are you a bigger fan of the milled style clip or the spring clip, or do you not really care as long as it's a deep carry?
I don't care as long as it stays in my pocket and it's pretty deep. Like one that drives me crazy a little bit is the Hinderer clip, because it's not deep carry. It's great retention, but it's like half an inch of the knife sticks out. The worst one was the SBR, not SBR, but the S&G, the ProTech S&G I had. Dude, like over half an inch of the knife was sticking out of your pocket, and I was just like,
the Spyderco Paras in general, the Para 2, Para 3, they don't. None of the Spyderco's come with great clips, right? Like there's a good little hunk of the knife. I mean, the clip itself, functionally, I don't mind, but they are not particularly low, deep pocket carries. You can get the Lynch clips for them, but
the wire clips. So the Spidey Chef typically comes with a wire clip. The Para 3 lightweight comes with a wire clip.
A little mill jobber on there, don't you?
Yeah. This one came off of the Para 3 lightweight that I had. But yeah, these come with wire clips, and those are very deep carry.
Come on.
I've come around to liking wire clips. I don't love them, but they're not bad.
Here's the thing. Functionally, I like a wire clip. I don't like the way they look.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the way they look. My favorite, for looks, I like a nice milled, like a machined clip. I think they look the nicest. But function wise, I don't give a shit as long as it's got good retention.
This is another one that's going to be in that video. This is the Giant Mouse Ace
Biblio. No, that's not Ace Biblio.
Why did I forget? I forgot what this is called.
You've been hanging out with me too long, so your brain's starting to fucking degrade.
I know the name of this knife, and I cannot think of it right now. I want to say Ace Grand, but the Ace Grand is a big chunky knife. Why can I not think of it?
I don't know. It's got cool scales on it, though. I'll give you that.
Okay, so regardless, part of the problem with this knife, one of the only complaints I have about this knife, is the clip. And it's because it's not milling, but the style of the scales, the pattern or whatever. Iona. Thank you, Chad. It's the Ace Iona. But the way that this meets the scale, do you see that? Probably hard to see.
The meat? You said meat?
Yeah, I'm saying it meets the scale.
Oh, I thought you were saying the meat of the scale.
It's right on one of these ridges on the scale, and when you grip it, it like just jumps to one side or the other. It doesn't have a lot of surface to actually sit on, and
it's kind of annoying, right?
Yeah, it's a little weird, but like the knife itself is really great.
Shit like that annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, what's on your wrist? It's something different. That is not
something different. It was a little cool today. So I was like, the leather, I haven't been digging the leather lately because I'm still, after wearing this a little bit today, I still say I'm a firm bracelet guy. I have a couple leather and I don't mind the leather. I think that, for instance, the SKX 007 looks really great with a leather band. Like I've seen a lot of guys rock that with a leather band and I really dig it. But,
that's the GoldenEye, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the GoldenEye. Where's the focus? There it is.
The glycine GoldenEye.
Glycine. Yep. Combat sub GoldenEye 43 millimeter. With a leather band on it. I love this watch. My only thing is I might get a bracelet, like a black bracelet for it.
Yeah, I got the Oris.
The Oris
pointer date.
I got a soft spot for Oris because I've got one.
I wear this watch all the time. But I got word about my Christopher Ward. I told you I had to send it in, right?
Oh, yeah, because you were losing time or gaining time or something.
I was losing a minute a day, and the GMT hand shifted and came out of alignment.
So what's the story, Morning Glory?
Oh, I had the watch, 2.5 months, maybe? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sent it in. Took 2 weeks to get there. And then took them another week to decide what they were going to do with it. Now they're putting it through a service, like a warranty repair.
Mm-hmm.
Estimated 8 to 12 weeks before before it's shipped back to me, and then it's going to take another 2 weeks because it's London. So I'm not going to see that watch for like 3 or 4 months.
That's the only thing that sucks about warranty work, right? Not always. Some companies are super quick with warranty work, like Zippo, for instance. I've heard is pretty spot on with their stuff. I heard they get stuff ripped in and out pretty quick. And who else was I talking to recently? And somebody said they had really good experience with like when you send your shit in for servicing. It's like from the time they have it to the time it's back at your door is like a week. I don't remember who it was.
A lot of good companies. From my understanding, Chris Reeve Knives is pretty good about that, but I've not ever done anything with them, so I'm not sure. I did have this on earlier, just because I have not really worn this watch. This is that big brass chunk.
Oh yeah, the
I put it on leather.
The army tank or a wrist tank.
I don't know if I can do this. This thing is it is such a beast on the wrist. I mean, look at that on the wrist. Sits so high.
That is a big. I've got this to smoke tonight while we're chatting for a little while. I've got this LFD Chapter 1. I really need to put my light further back so when I hold stuff up close, it doesn't go out of the light like that. It's an interesting cigar though, because the cut it's called a chisel tip. So I was talking to Alec Bradley, and he was saying that there's a couple ways you can do chisel tip cigars, right? You can either nip the end of these off, right? Or because it's flat, see how it's like flat like a chisel?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? You can just squeeze it this way, and then it did. And it just pops, and you don't have to do anything, right? So I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I see it. There's like a little slit.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. That was sealed up, but all I did was just lightly push, and it just went and split open. So I don't know if I'm going to get a good draw off of it, but he was like, yeah, some people prefer to, so I'm going to try smoking it that way and see how it goes. If not, I'll just cut the tip of it off. But I've never had a chisel tip before. So interesting. I'm going to give it a whirl.
Hey, I didn't smoke it yet, but the one that's next on my list to smoke is Cookie Monster.
Dude, yeah. That's a great cigar, man. That's that was this month's, wasn't that this month's Limited Cigar Association, LCA cigar?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Because your boy that you go to there, he's in the LCA, I'm pretty sure. That's how he gets those cigars.
I don't know. I just heard somebody walk in. I was there on Friday, so we started going there every Friday. And
that is something we'll get into with today's topic.
Yeah, because we will.
To me, that is right in there with a good way to deal with that.
Yeah, so we'll come back to that. That was a really good segue, Jeremy. I'm sorry to ruin it.
You're good. I've ruined about 150 segues for you, so it's okay. This doesn't work by the way.
I made a realization, or I had a realization, just actually, I think last night or the night before, and I think I know why you were able to actually stay on topic last week.
Why's that?
You weren't drinking.
That's a good point. It might be.
Right? Like it just dawned on me. I was like, oh my God, that's why we were able to. And this week we may actually look at you're showing promise, Jeremy. I'm very
I even tried to segue you.
I know.
Just give me some coffee instead of some whiskey, and I gain brain cells by the fucking minute. Goddamn Albert Einstein up in this bitch.
I'm sitting in the cigar lounge last Friday waiting to publish my video, and guy walks in, he's like, hey, do you have any Cookie Monsters? And he's like, yeah, we got a bunch. And I was like, I will have one as well.
You're like, fucking C is for cookie. Fucking give me one, bitch. Come on.
There was somebody talking in the chat last week about the Cookie Monster, so I picked it up. Haven't smoked it yet. I did try that last call on Saturday. The last call was good. I didn't smoke the New World. I know I had the last call, New World.
The New World's a little stronger than the last call, so you'll probably, I would assume you'll like the last call more than the New World probably. But the good thing about those last calls is they're made by AJ Fernandez and they're really affordable, right? So I think they're like,
but they're small.
Well, they come in different sizes.
Okay, the one I got was like really short.
You got it's called like a Paquito or something like that, which I think Paquito is like Spanish for small, but it's called something like that. But no, they've got this is my favorite size right here.
The Cookie Monster size. Oh, you were telling me that you really liked the Cookie Monster.
No, I'm saying of the last call. This is my favorite size of the last call. It's like a punch in on that so they can see it, because I can't. It's not. I can't. Why the fuck isn't it focused? I don't think it's big enough.
It's such a small point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good cigar.
It's like a thinner. It's probably only about like a 44 gauge. It's not a very fat cigar, and it's got a nice little torpedo or taper tip. That's my favorite, and they make those in both a Maduro and I think this is a Habano or something. But they make the last calls in both like a dark and lovely and like a medium. But yeah, they're good. And the thing is, man, depending on the Vitola you get, they're like I don't know, man, somewhere like $4.50 or $5 to maybe $6. They're not, they're not expensive cigars. So it's like a pretty good quality cigar that you can get and buy a shit ton of them, not break the bank.
Well, I've still not gotten deep into it. I don't know how deep I will ever get into it.
Well, maybe not. You won't get like me, but I think you'll probably. Anybody who, well, we'll talk about it when we get into what we're talking about tonight. But update, by the way, fuck this, just popping the chisel tip thing. Like that's not working for me. I'm not getting enough smoke through that for my liking. I'm gonna have to do a little fucking nippity nip on that because.
See, I think you also won't get into knives the way I have. I just don't think you will. I mean, dude, I've got like 80 knives and probably I'd say 10 or more of them are like $500 to $600 knives.
Here's the thing. I
more.
probably won't get into knives because at this point in my life and my hobbies I currently indulge in frequently, I can't afford to get into knives the way that you've gotten into knives because
I can't either. I got to get out.
Right. Because between cigars, now, luckily I'm in a position where I do get quite a few free cigars because of, people sending me cigars for review and this, that, what have you. So that's great. But I smoke a lot. I've talked about this many times. I mean, 2 cigars in a day is like the bare minimum for me. It's normally between, I'd say my average is probably 3 to 4. But 2 is like the bare minimum. So, I mean, dude, I blow through cigars, man. Like I spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month on cigars because I don't smoke just like $5 cigars all the time anyway. And then,
yeah. I know
that shit ain't cheap either. So, I go whiskey hunting probably twice a month, and I'll drop several $100s on whiskey a couple times a month. And I won't even say the amount, but I spent an absurd amount of money today on camera gear.
Oh, I'm sure. I need a new camera and I need a new MacBook. Dude, let's not get into that because that is what stresses me out.
Oh, dude, it was so bad. Well, my tax guy was like, "You really need to spend a little money." Like, he's like, "You need to spend some money on some business shit so that we can have some more stuff to write off." And I'm like,
I know how that goes because I need to do the same thing. So I need to actually get on the old MacBook train.
Right. I'm like, all right. So I just spent an absurd amount of money on new gear to kind of update some things. And yeah, so I can't afford knives. Actually, I could have used knives and just called that a business expense.
You could have finally do it just right now while we're live. Just go get a Sabinza. Just
you can't get them anywhere. If you can find me a new
Sabinza,
a new large with like bog oak inlays.
Oh, not with bog oak. No.
Yeah, I don't want the plain scale. I want like either bog oak or maybe micarta. Preferably the bog oak though.
Chat, help me out because I can't do this there's that's a small. Blade HQ has elder burl in a small.
I don't want a small. I want a full size one.
It looks like everybody got restocked. I got an Numzon. So I have a Numzon coming tomorrow.
Dude, I'm sorry. That just sounds like you had a slight stroke when you say that. I just got a Numzon.
That's a left hand. Dang. All right, we're gonna see if we can do this right here. Oof. Okay, here's an ebony one. It's not bog oak, but it's ebony. Damascus blade.
Yeah,
that one. $750.
No, if I spent $750, my wife would be like, "Hey, bitch." I mean, it's a business expense. As long as I review it and use it as a prop in videos and stuff, it's a business expense. I mean, I could technically.
We've got left hand large, left hand small, left hand.
Oh, and Taylor, by the way, I'm saying this because somebody in chat said this, and this will answer their question. But there will be a lot of people that are like, "Oh, I can't believe you," and I can't believe myself, honestly. But you'll be proud of me, Taylor. Everything I bought today, well, not everything, because some of it was like sliders and heads and stuff for sliders and stuff to help. But all the actual camera stuff I bought today, all Sony.
I'm actually very proud of you. I'm proud you've made the switch.
I brought 3 new Sony lenses, 2 G Masters, and one.
Holy shit!
And one. I told you I spent an absurd amount of money today.
Dude, G Masters are not cheap. They're like $3,000.
I know they're 2. They're 2. I bought 2 G Masters and a Sigma art lens, and then another A7S3 body. So I'll have 2 A7S3 bodies. But yeah, and I'm gonna trade in. I think I'm gonna trade in all my Canon stuff. I think I'm just gonna send it all in and just get that back.
I would like another full frame body. And
Dude, get an A7S III, bro. Because you're a Canon or because you're a Sony guy. I mean, if you were a Canon guy, then I'd say, there's an argument to be had there on whether, you stick with Canon or I'm jumping Canon ship for right now. I'm not saying I won't go back. I love Canon. I love them. Been a Canon guy for years. But just right now for what I do and what's currently out, Sony's meeting my needs better than Canon. So I'm going to jump over to the Sony world for at least the near future. And if next iteration Canon comes back around, maybe I'll jump back to Canon. Who knows? I mean, I hold neither one of them are paying me shit, so I can use whatever the hell I want. I have no loyalty to either side.
I'm going to find this, dude. There are a lot of Sabinzas in stock right now.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of them are left hands, but there are some bog oaks.
I saw a ton of left-hand ones when I was looking, because I was looking about a week ago, and I saw a ton of left-handed shit, and I'm like, that's not gonna be anything.
All right, we're searching Sabinza bog in stock, 34 variants.
While you're looking through that, I'm gonna the reason, because I've seen some people say this, that I went to Sony is because of the overheating issues that Canon's having. Like, that's just, I can't deal with that, man. I cannot deal with having to worry about if a camera overheats. I can't deal with the whole point of getting that R5 was some of the better the HQ, the 4K HQ and the 120 frames at 4K, and that shit overheats and it all goes useless. So Sony it is, baby. So, and that thing's been, I mean, I'm using it right now and I love it. I have no complaints since I've switched over to it. So I'm not going to say nothing. Not saying shit bad about Sony anymore. I used to talk all kinds of shit about Sony.
Yes, you did. Just as recently as when you met me.
Well, because dude, Sony's color science and Sony, their menus used to fucking suck. Their menu sucked. They used to be the people that had the overheating problem. They also used to have horrible battery life, and their color science wasn't great. But over the past several years, they've basically fixed all that, and now they dominate on most of those categories. If you compare the A7S III compared to the new Canon offerings. So
I've been very pleased since I went all full frame Sony. The only I have my third camera angle is not full frame, so that's what I'm trying to fix.
I am a huge full frame fan. Do you see that new Sony cinema camera that just came out? It's like the small full frame cinema camera that just came out. It's like $7,000. It's like their cheapest offering for a full line cinema camera.
Dude, Sony cinema cameras are stupid though. Like you could turn the lights off and shoot video and it looks like the lights are on. Like, it's stupid.
I don't even have any lights on in here right now. That's how good this fucking camera is.
You just sit in the dark.
You thought I had an aperture on, didn't you? No, this bitch is at ISO 103,000. It's just that's how it is.
Monkey Edge. All right, I'm gonna find this. Sorry, thanks for helping chat because it's hard to know where to look. I'm holding you to this. If I find a bog oak 31 bog oak inlay large, you're buying it.
I don't even have my stuff to buy right now, but I might. I did spend a lot of money today, though, Taylor. So you might have to give me like a day or two to recuperate.
Oh, you'll be okay. You'll be all right.
I don't think you know the total on my daily spend. If you did, you wouldn't be saying you'll be all right.
You'll be all right.
Because remember when we used to like buy camera gear and we'd send each other like puke emojis because we spend that much money, it makes you feel a little nauseous. You're like, I don't feel good.
Yeah, dude, I know that feeling very well.
That is the feeling I had once I finished those purchases today. I was like, oh, I'm kind of sick. I'm kind of.
So this isn't bog oak, but this is the ebony, the Madagascar ebony, in a large 31.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for it? Mm-hmm. Looks pretty damn good.
Oof. See, that bog oak is sexy as fuck, boy. Look at that knife. God damn.
That's the Madagascar ebony. That's not the bog oak.
Well, but they both, I mean, that looks a lot like the bog oak's just a little darker, I think.
They both look really good though. But dude, that's in stock right now.
But that's a sexy knife, dude. See, man, who is that though? What's this knife place? What is this?
Monkey Edge.
What the fuck is Monkey Edge?
It's a well-known knife store. They're reliable. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude.
I mean, not to sound like a complete mark, but honestly, I haven't bought anything that wasn't from Blade HQ in like, I don't know how many years.
All right. Look, I'm going to field this because it's Chad. Jump on that CRK train, Jeremy. CPA will be happy.
CRK. What's CRK? Like a
Chris Reeve Knives.
Oh, Chris Reeve Knives.
All right. Somebody said that DLT has one large bog oak. I think it's left-handed though.
CPA. I like that he said CPA will be happy.
Yeah.
Dude, he did. He's like, you need to spend some money. I'm like, don't fucking tell me that, because especially if my wife's on board, and he told her that I needed to spend some money. And then she told me, and I'm like, hold on, let me get this right. So you're telling me you want me to spend this much money? She's like, yeah. I'm like, phew. That's
easy. Can do.
Are you sure? Because if you unleash the beast, you might not like it.
Right. I'm almost done with this, I promise. If I don't find this really quickly.
Oh, fuck.
I think they're all left-handed.
Oh,
they
what
are.
the fuck? I don't know about this chisel. This chisel's coming unwound a little bit on me. And I barely cut the tip off, so I didn't cut it too deep. But it
the only one I see is a small, it's not a large.
I am pretty set on large. I have no interest in a small Sabenza.
Yeah, left-handed.
How much is generally like a large bog oak?
$550.
Yeah, I can pull the trigger on that.
$550. If you go Damascus, that adds $200. So $750 if it's Damascus, and a lot of the bog oaks are Damascus.
I mean, I would love Damascus, but I just don't know if I can justify the extra money for a Damascus blade. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
and I want a brass colored thumb stud. I don't want, some of them are like fucking weird colors. I'm not into that. I like the gold or brass colored thumb stud. Right. Somebody said Knife Center's got a bog oak in stock.
They sure do. Boom. Large gold stud bog oak in stock. Jeremy, pull the trigger.
Is it? Are you shitting me? Let me see it.
Oh, pre-order ships for free. It's not in stock. It's pre-order.
Oh, well then there's no rush. But yeah, I might. Let me see that. Go back. Look, I'm trying to click on it. Fucking me. Look, I'm trying to click on the screen. I'm over here going, let me see that. Let me click on that image. Let me blow that thing up. Knife Center, you need to get somebody to take pictures for you, man. Jesus.
Yeah, for real.
That picture makes that knife look like dick, and that's a sexy knife. Let me click on it so I can blow it up a little bit, Taylor. Yeah, see that
looks good.
That knife, that picture does that knife no justice. Like it, that I know that is a sexy ass knife, and that picture makes it look like dick.
Yeah, no, it does. And I have determined that I am a plain Jane Sabenza kind of guy.
You don't like that more than the plain Jane Sabenza?
No, and for a couple of reasons.
Fuck out of here! What's wrong with you?
Oh, see, they don't show you the backside of the knife. So you see this right here.
Uh-huh.
This is bead blasted, a normal Sabenza. This is like raw titanium. It's like a polished finish.
Yeah. You don't like that?
It's a two-tone. On the backside,
mm-hmm.
It's half and half. Like it fades into bead blasting.
And that's a bad thing?
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I don't like the way it looks. I'll show you. Sabenza bog oak lock bar, I guess.
Somebody asked what I'm smoking tonight. So it is an LFD Chapter 1. We got to get on topic here soon.
We do. But this was a nice derailment. I think you should get on this. There's no pictures of the backside. Here's one, sort of. From Blade HQ. You see that?
Oh, that doesn't bother me.
It's like polished here, and then
polished all the way around except for the lock bar, which is like it fades in the clip. In the clip. I mean, I'm not mad at that.
It looks weird. I don't like it.
I'm not mad at that at all. I mean, I see what you're saying. I could see how that could make somebody's OCD itch, but no, I'm not mad at that. Here's the problem if I get a Sabenza. I'm going to be super boring on knife dumps from here on out because I'm going to have that bitch in my pocket for like a year without taking it out. Because when I get a knife that I really like, I will carry it for long stints without switching out.
Here's what really is going to happen if you do end up getting a Sabenza. You're going to get a Sabenza and then you're going to get a different knife and another knife. It's a gateway. It's a true gateway. Because
that's why you're really trying to get me to get the Sabenza. You're like, hey man, you want to try this shit? It'll fuck you up.
Yeah, it's
I'll give you
it's
this
like
one for free.
it's like that you're ripping off the band-aid on pulling the trigger on a $550 knife for the first time, and then the next time it's way easier. Way easier.
You're like $550. Well, that's like the first time you spend like a couple grand on a lens for a camera. I remember the first time I spent a couple grand on a lens, I was like, I actually think I had like the dry heaves. I'm like, like $2,000 on a camera lens. Now it's like, yeah, I'm gonna need two of those. And it's like once you rip the band-aid off, it definitely gets easier.
Exactly. That's, I mean, how I've managed to acquire so many knives. I mean, I've traded and sold and, made it a little easier. Like, I didn't feel bad about buying my Norseman at all because I bought a Norseman for $950, but I sold like $2,000 or $3,000 worth of knives.
Well, right.
So,
And that's the thing, even like it carries over to the camera equipment, right? Like, yeah, I spent a bunch of money on camera gear today, but I will sell back a lot of my Canon stuff that I'm not using now because I'm going Sony, and I will make back a big portion of that, right? So it is partially building your collection of whatever that is, whether you're talking knives or camera gear or whatever you're into. And then it gives you the power to kind of trade and move things around a bit.
Once again, I meant to bring the Wee Beastie, but I didn't. I love the Wee Beastie at home. So,
dude, I'm on coffee, and it's not even hitting the spot very well tonight, just because I told you it's funny. I got that fucking bottle of Octomore like the day after I started my antibiotics, and it's just been crushing my soul that I've got this glorious bottle of Octomore back there that I really want to drink and I can't because of the antibiotics.
Well, I'm going to drink this Lafroig, even though I don't like it as much as other Isla Scotches now, but I'm just in the mood for some peat.
Hey, man, I'm in the mood for a peat a lot.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful when you say that because people I'm in the mood for Peter a lot. What?
Found a new soundbite.
Yeah, you're going.
But no, the thing is, we came here 45 minutes ago to talk about how we deal with stress, right. And
that is the general topic of the evening: stress.
Because
I thought it was a good topic for now because I think everybody's a little stressed out because let's be honest, 2020 has been a complete cluster fuck of a dumpster fire, right? Holidays are coming up, which is always kind of a stressful time. It's a great time of year. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the holidays and family and all that, but it's usually a little stressful too. So anyway, I thought it was very apropos. Isn't that a thing? Apropos, isn't that a
I don't sure, but it's definitely more stressful than it's ever been before. And for me, like, this is the first time we're really dealing with having a child for Christmas, right? We had a newborn. Well, she wasn't really a newborn. She was still an infant, and she didn't really know what was going on. She wasn't really able to open her own presents. And now it's like, okay, no, we have a human being who is, looking forward. Well, she's not looking forward. She doesn't know it's coming, but
oh, buddy,
when she wakes up on Christmas morning, she's going to be excited because there's a bunch of new stuff, and I've never had to really deal with that before. By the way, first Christmas was awesome, but yeah, but what I'm saying is like that adds to the pressure.
Oh, for sure.
Alex is very pregnant. I am month to month here in this office, and I'm on the hunt for another one because this one is not working. By the way,
having a very pregnant significant other is stressful in and of itself.
Yeah. The office that I was going to be moving into, I think, has most likely fallen through. Haven't really been able to find much else, and the one that I did find is very expensive. We need a bigger house, and man, it's the rent's going up there. Like, it's just been like one haymaker after another, and I'm sitting here with my head spinning.
And Corona and an election
year. The family, and we're like, are we going to go to family stuff, family gatherings for Christmas? Are we not? We're definitely going to get guilted if we don't. Like,
well, then, and you were telling me that like there's some very extreme political leanings in your family that drive you completely insane. So
everybody's just
we won't go into which leanings those are because we don't want to get into political debate. But nevertheless, it just gets stressful.
Yeah, like it's just. I was just trying to list all of it out just to try to like wrap my head around it the other day, and I'm just like, I don't want to list anymore.
Yeah, dude, I was doing the exact same thing with my wife. I was like, this is happening. This is happening. The whole thing with, I've talked about it several times, my dad not being in great health because he's, been battling cancer for a couple years now. And that's just an ongoing stressful thing. It's one of the reasons why it is the
18th
19th of the month. And I have not posted one video. I think I've posted one video the very late part of last month or early this month. And I haven't posted a video since because I've just been tied up with family stuff. And and then all the other 2020
drops.
drops. We've been doing the merch drops, and those are planned like months in advance. If Chad's still in here, those are planned months in advance. So like, people think, oh, these drops, what? No, dude, we started working on this shit at like the beginning of 2020, and some of these drops actually weren't planned to be so close together because of Corona and other things with just it taking forever to get stuff like that done, they just kind of all landed like, oh shit, now they're all done. You know what I mean? So yeah, just stress is one of those things that 2020, I think, has brought to the doorstep of most people in much higher quantity than normal years. Some people are really dealing with a lot of financial stress because, jobs have been squirrely because of the COVID situation. Right now, a lot of people are going back into lockdown because there's been a rise in COVID. So now it's like, fuck, are we going to have to deal with this whole thing over again? Like, it's school, homeschooling. Let me touch on stress for a second. Let's talk about homeschooling. Let's talk about how teachers are fucking saints because, oh, Jesus Christ, all the kids being here all day was about to drive me and my wife to drinking. Well, it doesn't take much to drive me to drinking.
You already do. I think you wanted to talk about this topic just so you could rant for like 2 hours.
No, there's a ton of shit. But so let's talk about the types of stress, right? There's external stress, right? Stuff that's put on you whether or not you like it or not, right? Like fucking Corona and the dumpster fire that is this year. And then there's stress that, is somewhat your own fault, right? Like if you don't plan shit properly or you procrastinate or, there's these stresses that like you can avoid if you kind of do shit the right way. Right. And for me, that's one way that I know I'm guilty of adding extra stress on myself sometimes is I don't always plan things the way that I should. I procrastinate sometimes when I shouldn't. And I think that is a big part of dealing with stress is there are certain stresses in life you can't do anything about. You just kind of have to deal with. But the shit that you can keep off your plate to keep those stresses from being a thing, like, do that shit first. Like get your shit square.
What's the phrase? Is it eat the frog in the morning? I'm butchering the idiom or whatever it is, but it's one thing I learned from Adam Savage. You do the one task you do not want to do first thing in the morning, and then everything else after that.
Dude, can we talk about that just for a brief second? Do you watch his one day builds?
No, I used to, but I mean, I
love that guy. He's such a creative dude. Like with the way he builds shit, he will take something. I'm like, there's no way he could build that. And just like with random shit, he ends up putting it together. And I'm like, holy hell, that's awesome. Like, I really appreciate the ingenuity and skill that guy has at being a maker. Like I enjoy him. I
learned of him through my dad when I was a kid. Right. My dad watched Mythbusters and stuff. And my dad loved it because my dad is very much the same. He got bored one day when I was a kid. I don't know of anybody else who does this. He got bored and just from scratch, you're sitting at home and he decided to build an engraving machine, like a CNC engraver.
He's like, so that's
took him a few hours and it was working. He had it programmed. It was like, I'm like, what? And that's just kind of the person he is. Long story short, that's something I've wanted to incorporate into what I do here on YouTube for a long time. And I know I've talked about this with you at length, but yeah, making stuff. I miss it. I was not very good at it when I first did it on YouTube, but now I would like to think I'm much more capable. Not capable on the level that Adam Savage is. And I also don't want to be building the things he builds because he builds a lot of like cosplay stuff and that's not my jam. But
he also has over decades built up just a ridiculous workshop that has more ins and bits and bobs and all kinds of materials and different machines to do very specific tasks and vacuum forms. And I mean, he's just got a ridiculous amount of resources in his shop that most people don't have. I mean, I've got a nice table saw. I used to do some furniture building. So, circling back around to talking about dealing with stress, I think working with your hands is a great way to just to get into the topic of how to deal with stress, right? One, avoid the shit that you can take care of, right? Plan your day out, eat the frog, take care of the stress that you can get off your plate. Get that shit off your plate. The stuff that you can't, that gets put on you that you can't do anything about. How do you deal with that? How do you relieve stress, right? I think working with your hands is a good one, man. I used to really enjoy just getting out the garage and just tinkering in the wood shop. I think that's a good stress reliever.
That's something that I've really not had available to me for a long time. And it's something it just eats at me. I need a shop. I need a place where I can go to just work on things, not videos. I mean, yeah, sure, I'm going to shoot videos in there, but a place where I can go build shit. I've not had that in forever. I can't really do that here. Like, it's carpet. I'm in the middle of a warehouse. Like, I'm not going to lug everything in here. I'm not going to run table saws and other shit in here. I could run a table saw in here, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just not the right environment for making things. It's a good studio for making videos, but not building shit. So that's something
getting a table saw up there would be a bitch.
Yeah,
table saw heavy as fuck.
I'm so over
table saws
this
heavy
studio.
Making things, I think is and Pete has mentioned this in videos before, is he thinks it's useful to have a hobby that is not what you do for a living to get your head away from that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, it's great. I don't know what that's like because I'm I perpetually turn my hobbies into work.
Well, that
always, it's the fucking worst.
And as a social media creator, YouTuber, whatever the hell you want to call what we do, you tend to turn everything you do into a video, right? Like if you're doing a cool project, it's hard to just do that cool project because then you're like, man, people probably would dig maybe trying this themselves. Maybe I should shoot this and do like a how-to because this is fun. If I'm enjoying it, other people would enjoy it. You know what I mean? You're like, so you tend to get into this mindset of then it's hard to get away from, for us with what we do. And I think Pete's advice of having a hobby outside of video is a good piece of advice for stress relief, but then you have to have the stick-to-itiveness to, if that's a word, to not end up making a fucking video out of it. Right? Like,
yeah, like coffee. That was like the big stress reliever, like zeroing, that was the thing for me. And I turned it into a business. And that business failed, and I just ran it into the ground. And now I'm just like, okay, I drink coffee. Like it's not like I drink it because that's what I do. It's not like a meditation thing anymore. It just is a thing.
And you guys might pick on me for this one a little bit, but a little bit of meditation never hurts. And I don't mean like fucking chanting and om or anything, but just like taking a few minutes every day in quiet, just to kind of fucking try to still your mind, as they say, still your mind. I find that really helpful. I do, just to kind of clear your head for a little while. Take just 10 minutes of you time, quiet, clear your head, just fucking try to get a little zen for a few minutes every day.
So when I'm sitting at my desk and I can't focus, I'm stressed about other things, and I'm tired, which happens frequently because I don't get to sleep a whole lot. The best thing I can do, like most people are like, just down another coffee, but that doesn't work. It makes you all jittery and makes everything worse.
Mm-hmm.
I go lay on that couch right there. I set a timer for 20 minutes. I put my AirPods in. And I play some music and I lay on that couch and I don't think about a goddamn thing.
Yeah, dude.
I just lay there.
Yep.
And I'll either sleep or I'll just think the whole time. But when that timer goes off, I get up, and every single time I'm 200% more productive.
Yep.
And that's all it takes. Just it's not even just a nap. Sometimes it is a nap, but it's just kind of like step away, clear the cobwebs,
Yep.
and just slow down.
Yep.
Because
I agree 100%.
I got here this morning, and I got here at 9, and just balls to the wall until not long after you sent me those pictures. Right, I got everything posted, and then I had to go run some errands. But dude, I was like, I've done everything, and it's like 2 p.m. Like what? Oh my god, it's not happened like that in a very long time. Dude, every single day that I've gotten here in the office for the last 2-3 weeks, it's been nothing but like paralysis by analysis. I sit down and I try to write out everything that I've got to do, and my eyes gloss over, and I'm just like, I don't know,
dude.
I don't even know where to start.
I've had a ton of that lately, especially with the added. Is this shit crooked? I feel like has this been crooked the whole time, or is my laptop just making it look crooked?
I don't know, Jeremy.
I don't know. Anyway, I got distracted. Squirrel. I've been the paralysis by analysis has been getting me lately because I've been behind and I've had so many other things going on that there's so much shit going around in my head all the time that like when I do sit down and try to get something done, I'm trying to think about this and then 5 other things are popping in and it kind of screws you up. I think one of the things that's been causing my stress level to be higher lately is I have not been working out. And that is another way that historically speaking, I've always dealt with stress. And I think it's hugely important. And I don't think enough people, especially in America, because let's be honest, we're kind of known for being a little out of shape and fat. And any of you guys that say that's not true, get the fuck out of here. Y'all know America, we got an obesity problem. So let's not get fucking sensitive about it. We got an issue here. Okay. We eat a lot of Big Macs and we don't like to fucking do any push-ups. Like, let's be honest. I historically speaking have always worked out religiously. And I have always felt that helped me a lot with my stress. And over the last year, I have not been working out. I'm in the worst shape I've been in a decade just because of all the busy and the work and the things. And you would think working from home would give you more time to do shit like that, but it strangely enough somehow doesn't.
Nope. So you mentioned getting a rower.
I got one, and this coming with it's fucking. I just set it up, and I think tomorrow actually. Fuck it. There's procrastinate now, right? Like there's no reason to put it off. Like I need to go out there. Goal is to get on that rower minimum of 30 minutes a day for a little while until I start getting back in shape, and then I can start really ramping my workouts up to the level that I used to. My workouts used to be pretty intense. If I tried to do the workouts I used to do now, I'd probably die. I'd be the big one.
You reminded me when you said you bought a rower that I wanted a rower. I totally forgot about it. When I watched House of Cards, he had the water rower.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I immediately was like, I need one of those. And then I realized it's like $1,000 or whatever.
Yeah. And right now, dude, it took me several months to get it.
Yeah, like you have to go. I think I want to buy one of those. Alex won't let me right now because we do not have space, and I can't put it here.
Those concepts is they hang up. Like they're very long, but they don't take up. They're very low and they're thin. So you can hang them on the wall. They don't take up a ton of room.
When I say we don't have space,
he's like, bitch.
We don't have space. We have a 1,200 square foot house, and it is packed. So. Not going to happen. I do want to get one though. And one of the criteria for the next space that I move into, I'd love for it to have a shower. And theoretically, I'm going to get a space with enough room where I could have just a little bit of a space with a rower and maybe a couple other machines or something in there, weights or just something.
Dude, if you have a rower and some kettlebells, which don't take up any fucking room,
right,
and a pull-up bar. I'm telling you, that's all you really need to get a good workout in is a rower, some kettlebells, a pull-up bar. That's it.
Yeah, but it has to be, I have to have a shower in the space to be able to do this. Like,
for sure. But
I'm going to get disgusting.
Kettlebells, a rower, and a pull-up bar. I'll whip your ass to where you feel like you're going to die. You're gonna fucking die.
Good.
I'm gonna
I've been
die.
out of shape since I quit playing soccer when I was 18. So
Yeah.
I've not been in shape since 18, and that's quite some time ago, 12 years. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's time. I spend way too much time sitting right here at this desk. Like I have this whole office and a house and lots of space, and I sit right fucking here 90% of the time. So
That's, but dude, working out though, just to close that out, I think that is a key. Our bodies were designed to move, right? Like we were designed to move shit, do stuff, build things. Like
Jeremy hasn't seen Wally.
Hunter, yeah, I have all those fat sitting in the chairs like with a straw, you know. I mean, we were hunter gatherers, right? We're out hunting, we're building fucking structures to live and fires and gathering firewood and food and shit. Like we don't do that anymore. Everything's just sent to us our house. So I don't think our bodies, and Joe Rogan's talked about this before. I don't think our bodies they haven't had time to evolve to get used to the sedentary lifestyle most of us lead these days. So I think it's important to get up and move the fuck around, man.
But I mean, on top of that, I've just been very unhappy with how I feel and look.
Well, that's part of it, right? Like,
yeah, I'm getting older. My metabolism checked out when I was 18, but it's even worse now. So,
well, and then, you know, working out releases endorphins, right? So when you work out, you get endorphins, which makes you feel good, which then makes you feel better about yourself. Then you start to feel better. Your body starts to look a little better. You're like, I think I might be starting to sell some fucking tickets to the gun show over here, bitches. Like Sunday Gun Day, come on. That's a little Talon Sai reference there, but I don't think he's talking about that kind of gun day, but you know what I'm saying? You start feeling good about yourself, and then, you know, when something little happens, somebody cuts you off, you don't give a shit because you're in a good fucking mood, right? You're feeling good. You can handle the stress better. When you feel like shit and you're tired and you're overworked and you feel bad about yourself, the little things wear on you more. Right.
Yeah. I feel like I do a really good job of dealing with stress or normally, I would say under normal circumstances, but in the last 5-6 months, I have not been dealing with it well at all. Like everything is just kind of slowly slipping and getting behind. And like, I'm really bad at getting back to people right now. Like really bad,
right?
Really, really bad at getting back to people. I'm not making nearly as many videos. And a lot of it is just, like I said, paralysis by analysis. I sit down, I'm like, I got to make these 6 videos. Where do I start? And then I like blink like 6 times, and it's 6 p.m. I'm like, well, shit, got to go home. You know, I don't know what happened today, but nothing happened.
That is the equivalent.
So yeah, everything has been just slipping, and I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to come around and get on top of a few things, but then I don't know, and it slides out the other side, you know?
No, I do. Oh shit, hold on. I just fucking moved. Fuck, I just fucked up. Hold on.
Jeremy is over here reorganizing his room in the middle of a podcast. Like, what is happening right now?
It was driving me like I had like my ODC. Now I can't even talk. My OCD, this thing being crooked was driving me absolutely freaking crazy. And then I happened to look over and I saw somebody say the table is so crooked. And I'm like, you're right, it is. And it's driving me freaking nuts. I can't deal with life right now. It's still crooked, but fuck it. I'll fix it later. I'm not going to keep messing with it in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah. 6 minutes from now, you're going to be like, oh shit, this is crooked.
Well, dude, it starts to make it itch. Like, right. And every time I look down and I see it, I'm like, oh, it's really driving me crazy. Yeah, I mean, the same exact thing is what's been happening to me. You know, it is paralysis by analysis, but again, eating that frog every morning, moving around, working with your hands occasionally. I think what other things do you do to deal with stress?
Well, one thing I used to do
make you happy, like camping, right? That's like your big stress reliever.
Something I used to do, and I just never can find the time to do it now.
Right.
Like I don't get to see Eleanor much during the week, and that's my favorite thing, period, is just coming home and playing with Eleanor and just having a good old time. And that's really what we do on the weekends. And then if I go camping, I miss that, and I don't want that. So, because we can't take Eleanor camping right now, it's 30 degrees outside. Like my
Yeah.
favorite time. It's perfect right now. But if I take her, then it's not going to be so fun. Also, we took her a few months ago, and it was not at all relaxing.
No, we
All we
talked
did
about
was
that.
chase her for 3 days. It
Yeah,
was awful. Like it was fun, but also like
young kids camping is a bit like you got to do it just so you can say you had the experience. Like I know when my son was like probably 2.5, maybe 3. He was still real young. There's a place here that you can go camping that's really pretty cool. It's called, and the name of it makes it sound like it's not good, but it is. I think is it Mosquito Lagoon or is it Mosquito Island? I think it's Mosquito Lagoon. It's basically a chain of islands, right? That are like right off the coast, like probably like you could swim from the islands to the coast without much of a problem. I mean, they're probably maybe a half a mile off the coast, quarter to a half mile off the coast. It's a little chain of islands down a little south of me from at in Florida. And you basically book the island, right? There's nothing on the island. The only thing that's on the island is like a fire pit and a picnic table. Like they're not big islands. They're maybe a couple acres. You know what I mean? They're not huge islands. But there's only one campsite per island. So you just book the island with the National Park Service or whatnot. And then, you've got the whole island. So you go out there if you've got a boat, you got to have a boat and you camp on this island and it's really pretty cool. And we took Jared out there when he was little bitty. And yeah, it's kind of sketchy, dude. Like you got to keep an eye on them the entire time. And then they're very inquisitive. So they're always running around and doing stuff. So it's one of those things you got to do, but it definitely is not as relaxing as going with like a bunch of adults and everybody sitting around the campfire, like cooking food and telling stories and playing guitar and drinking and doing all the fun shit that's relaxing. Cause oh shit, he's in the fire. Oh shit, he's about to walk in the water.
Dude, no joke. The first thing Eleanor did when we got there, she got out of the truck and took off running and ran straight through Poison Oak. And we're just like, you're like, awesome, great.
You look over, she's taking poison oak and literally rubbing her face with it. You're like, oh god.
And then we had a fire pit in the middle, and every time she would walk near it, we're like, no, we'd reach for it, and she would lunge towards it to get away from us. And so she's like running towards the fire. We're just like,
you're like,
what do you do?
The heat from that, right? Like, get away from the heat.
So it was not relaxing, and that was really my big thing that I used to do, was to just like get away, no phones, just walk away and be at peace in the woods. But I don't really have that opportunity much anymore. I want to change that, but the other big thing was fishing, and I've gone like once in the last 2 years.
Right.
Having kids changes everything, and I know everybody warned me that it would change, but I didn't think it was true. I was like, I'll still do these things, and no. I mean, it's 2-parters, right? It's a 2-parter. Like, we had a kid, and we're dealing with a pandemic, so
here's
everything
the
is.
I'm going to give you the short and nasty of Jeremy's. Now, I'm not saying I am following this to a T at the moment, which is why I'm a little fucking stressed out right now. But Jeremy's guide to how to not be stressful, right?
Drink all of the whiskey and smoke all of the cigars every day.
It's a multi-stage process.
Oh, okay.
So first stage, stay fit, stay in shape, work out at least, I'd say 5 or 6 times a week, right? And when I say workout, I don't mean go out there and crush 2 hours of high intensity interval training or something. Like, I would say work out pretty intensely 3-4 times a week. And then, another 2 or 3 times a week, get in some kind of activity, whether it's, a good long walk, something. So exercise, move your ass, do things, burn off that nervous energy, get those endorphins kicking. Do some shit that you enjoy every day. Like, take a little bit of time to do some shit you enjoy doing, right? Like, spending some time with your family is a good thing to do every day. A little bit of family time is not a bad thing. Eat well, because when you're healthy, again, it's easier for you to deal with stress. Get out in nature occasionally. It's important. People were meant to be in nature. It's important to get out in nature occasionally. I think that's a big factor to people dealing with stress well.
You're not going to fucking stick to that one, because the The old Lone Star
I
tick.
don't mean camping necessarily. I just mean get outside. If you
Hey,
go
you
on
walk
a
in the
walk,
grass, you run the risk of a Lone Star tick. Just saying.
hey, that's true. I just mean going on a long walk. Just get the fuck outside, right? Like, I mean, obviously, if you live in a city, going on a walk isn't going to get you in nature. But like where I live, I can go on a walk and I'm trees and woods, and you know what I mean. Like, just get the fuck outside, let the sun hit you. Drink all the whiskey and smoke all the cigars.
7-step process.
And occasionally shoot a gun. There's nothing more stress relieving than going just fucking rounding off some rounds at the gun range. That shit just feels good. Come on, let's be serious. America, come on.
But yeah, like everything I used to do, I just don't have the opportunity to do right now, which I think a lot of people can relate to because we are in a pandemic and it's changed everything.
God damn.
I mean, shit, when they first started locking down, they closed. You couldn't even go to the lakes and places that I would normally go fishing. They shut down the boat ramps and stuff, like, which makes no sense, right? Like, why shut down a boat ramp? You're not going to be within 6 feet of each other.
I feel like a boat's probably a pretty fucking good place to be during a pandemic. Like right. You're outside, and I mean, nobody else can be near you if you're on a boat.
Not that I have a boat, by the way, and I don't have a boat, but
but I'm just saying, I mean, a boat seems pretty safe. I mean, unless you're like those college kids at these, these
party
lakes,
barge,
right? Where they like, there's 20 of them on a fucking boat, and then they go out in the middle of these lakes and they all, tie up to each other. And then you end up with just a sea of boats all, tied off. And then that's not safe. That's probably not best during a pandemic. But other than that, generally speaking, if you're out on the water fishing and it's you and a buddy on a boat out in the middle of the fucking water, you're social distancing pretty good. I like the shirts. I like the shirts that have Bigfoot. It says social distance champion.
That's pretty good.
Whoever did that is a fucking clever bastard. I love those shirts. I think they're funny.
I think really the only thing I have right now, there are two things that I do to kind of decompress, and that's sort of a form of stress relief. I play some video games, and that is intentionally or initially, I should say, intended to decompress and de-stress. And what typically happens is I play competitive Rocket League and I get so fucking tilted that I come away from it 10 times worse than when I started.
That's why I stopped playing video games.
So that one's not working for me.
That's why I stopped playing video games, because I played video games. I mean, dude, I grew up in the era of video games becoming a thing, right? Like I had the original Atari. I had the original.
Of course you did.
I had the original NES Nintendo, and I played Ghouls and Goblins and fucking Castlevania and the original Mario Brothers and shit. Like I grew up in that era when like arcade games were a big thing, and like I get it. Like, and I played up until probably my mid-20s, maybe late 20s. I mean, I still played when like online gaming was a thing. Like I played Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare online and stuff. But I actually really enjoyed getting on there with my buddies and playing some of the earlier versions of Call of Duty online. But it started to get to where it was not I wasn't enjoying it anymore. It wasn't relaxing. It was fucking stressing me out. And I'm like, this isn't the whole point of this. This is a goddamn game, and it's supposed to be fun. And I'm getting pissed off because I'm getting fucking pwned by this fucking 12-year-old kid that's calling me a bitch. And then I'm wanting to get fighting mad. And I'm like, I'm getting fighting mad on a game with some fucking kid that's balls haven't dropped talking shit. Like I can't. I'm out. I'm fucking out.
Do you see this?
Taylor
King Salt in Rocket League. Yeah.
Are you King Salt in Rocket League?
Oh man, I'm so jaded towards it. I love the game so much. I mean, clearly I've put almost 2,000 hours into the game. Like that's no small amount of time. But
can I say I don't even know what it is?
It is. Imagine a game. Where you drive.
I'm imagining a game. Okay, I'm gonna go. Imagine a game. Take me to a place, Taylor. Take me to a place. I'm in a game.
You control a Hot Wheels car.
A Hot Wheels car.
And you play soccer with that car.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
but the cars can like jump, and you have rocket boost. And dude, it gets, when I first started to play in the game, it was much easier. I mean, the player base was much smaller and the skill level
Why the
was
fuck
much
do I want to
lower.
play soccer with a Hot Wheel car?
Dude, it's fucking addictive. It is
No, dude. Going on Call of Duty and
addictive.
shooting a motherfucker in the face is addictive. Playing goddamn soccer with a car? Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I mean, hey, look, I won't knock
played many first person shooters and third person shooters and RPGs and all sorts of games. I have never played a game as much as I've played Rocket League. Not even.
Dude, I enjoy the Call of Duty, man. I think part of me enjoying Call of Duty though is that the weapons and stuff, because I've always been kind of a gun nut. So like all the weapons and be able to like trick them out and set them up the way you want, and them actually reacting differently depending on the weapon. And not like back in the day when the guns were like, it was a different gun, but they all shot like fucking little pew 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 pew.
Goldeneye.
You know what I mean? Like in Call of Duty, the different guns actually have more or less damage and fire rates.
I mean, if you're going to go that far, play a Battlefield game, right? Like,
I think that was just kind of coming out right before I said fuck gaming and just said I'm out.
They've had Battlefield games for a long time.
I know. I think I played a few of them is what I'm saying. I think they were just starting to kind of get popular. Like that was right about the era that I was starting to lose a little charm with
what killed shooters for me was a game that I loved so much and had so much potential, and I just loved playing it, but I was absolute shit at it, and that was PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Played it. I put a lot of time into it, but man, I'm just so bad at it. So bad. I mean, so it's a King of the Hill game, right? You know what that is? Last man standing. So 100 people drop in a huge map, and you have nothing, and you got to go loot everything. You got to get your guns and armor and everything, and then you got to be the last one standing.
Okay, cool. I mean,
the concept. Love the concept. Love the game. Love the gameplay. I am fucking garbage at it. And I've played a bunch of first-person shooter games, and I was not bad at those, but something with getting older and reflexes and not being able to put in like 80 hours a week like these kids.
Well, that's the thing. And is it still, I haven't played in years, right? So maybe it's gotten better, but I know back when I stopped playing, I felt like the game, the online, it was a toxic fucking situation. Everybody was talking shit.
Dude,
and
Jeremy,
racist and fucking mean and harsh and like toxic as fuck.
It is 10 times worse right now than it was even 5 years ago.
Oh, see, then there's what's the fucking point in that then, right? Like, again, we're talking about stress tonight, right? That's our topic.
Well, okay, so when I used to play those games.
By the way, what is it called? A game. What's the point of a game? To fucking to have some fun, enjoy it. It's a game, right? And I'm going to get on there in some toxic environment and listen to a bunch of fucking just assholes talk shit. Like
I had the most fun. The way that I was playing those games was turning off the open chat and playing with my friends. So
when
I was in high school, it was when online play first really started becoming a thing, and I got a Bluetooth headset and started playing with my friends. Actually, it wasn't even friends. It was just people I met playing the game, and we got on at the same time every single night. We played same hours every single night, and we slayed. It was so much fun, and we didn't have to deal with the other people. We just muted everybody else. But
do people still do that shit? Also, this used to drive me crazy, where they like blare music in the background.
I don't know.
And like they think that you want to hear whatever fucking song they're listening to, and like all I hear in my ear is this motherfucker listening to like whatever, some dumb shit that I don't want to hear. He's listening to the Fox. What does the Fox say, or some stupid shit? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So then you got to mute everybody because everybody's just got a bunch of shit. There's some guy beating his wife in the background and shit. And you're like, God damn, people, can we mute our mics here? This is fucking ridiculous.
I don't know, but I wish I could play more video games. But the only way that they're fun to me now, unless I'm playing an offline game, like just a story mode game,
right,
is usually playing with people I know.
Right.
When you play by yourself, it turns into this, I don't know, shitstorm. But one of the best times I have playing Rocket League is with some of my mods from the Discord server, or if I just mute all chat. But even if you mute all chat, like, I don't know what it is about Rocket League in particular. Maybe it's that there's not a whole team, but like the mode that I play is 2v2, so 2 people in each team. and nobody takes any blame. So if somebody makes a mistake, they're like, "You fucked up. I'm done. Stop doing that." And then they just fucking throw the game, and it's just like, okay, why are you even playing?
Right.
I mean, I've gotten to the point where I'll do that too because I know it's coming. But
I'm listening. I got my headset in.
It's ruined a lot of the game for me. I still play it almost nightly, but it's just so infuriating sometimes. So I don't know. I'd like to have another game that I enjoy as much as much as Rocket League, but I've never enjoyed a game that much. So
I dropped my old the womb broom cleaner.
Wow.
That's what you call a big mustache like that, a womb broom. You never heard anybody call it a womb broom?
I have not.
Yeah. Well, the problem with the big old womb broom is every time you take a sip of anything, shit gets in it. So I can't, got to have something to dab it regularly.
Can I say that my beard has finally reached that length that every time I eat anything, it just catches it. Like it's no matter what, it's always in there.
Dude, you know what I have to do when I eat soup?
You're going to show me?
My kids laugh at me. I do that when I eat soup.
Hey, look, you look like me now.
Yeah, I do that when I eat soup because otherwise it tilts out and soup always gets all in it. It just gets all in it. So I just tuck it in my shirt like that and I eat my soup. And then when I'm done, I pull everything back out because it's just fucking obnoxious. I can't deal with eating soup. My wife's made some really good white chicken chili today. Ate 2 bowls of it and had to do the old tuck because I was just fucking chili was constantly in the old
yeah, it's been I'm not used to it because I actually in March I shaved my beard off. I don't know if you remember that.
I do. You look like you were 7.
Yeah,
maybe
so
8.
My beard off, and I forgot like just how much this thing catches everything. And for the last like week, Alex is like, Taylor, you've got food in your beard. You got food in your beard. There's something in your beard, Taylor. It's in your beard, like just constantly.
Dude, I lost a guitar pick in my beard one time and it didn't come out for like an hour. Like I forgot it was in there. I was like practicing the guitar. I was playing the guitar, dicking around, and I must have just started like itching my chin with it, joking around, and like something happened, and I was just like, whatever. And it stuck in there, and I just was watching TV, or I don't even remember what happened. And I forgot. And then I'm like downstairs like an hour later, and I do something, the pick falls out. I'm like, oh, that's where that guitar pick went. So yes, it's a thing. Yeah, shit does get stuck in your beard. I get beard. My wife is constantly telling me I have stuff in my beard.
So can I say that about a year ago, so not long after I met you, really, I used to drink an Isla Scotch whenever I was stressed. Right, I would sit down at night. I'm like,
dude, a good glass of whiskey in the evening is a great little stress reliever, bro.
But since I've met you, and especially since we started this podcast, I have to say that it doesn't have the same effect. When you drink it all the time, it does not have the same effect. It's more whiskey, right? Like before, it was this periodic thing I would do when I would get stressed. I'd sit down and I'd have a glass, and it was just like this. But now,
so your argument is when you do it every night, it becomes less special, so it's not as good of a stress reliever.
Right? Yeah. Because if you're stress relieving the same way every single night with a glass of whiskey,
well,
one, you're drinking every single day, and two,
but here's how you fix that, Taylor. You have your daily drinkers, right? You have your normal everyday bottles that are your go-to everyday bottles that are just your, personally for me, I don't feel that way. My little time at night when I have a glass of whiskey and a cigar, the kids are in bed. By the way, another secret to a happy marriage is spend a little time not together, right? It's good to have a little bit of fucking time apart, right?
Alex is pregnant right now. So when Eleanor goes to bed, Alex goes to bed.
Right.
So 8 p.m. on is my time.
Yeah. And a lot of times at night, like my wife wants to watch, sometimes we'll watch shows together and stuff if we have something we're watching, but a lot of times we've been around each other all day. I work from home. She's here. So we're around each other all day. We spend plenty of time together. You definitely need to spend time with your significant other. I'm not saying that, but a little bit of time away from each other is a good thing to have your own thing. Right. I think that's one of the reasons I've been married for many, many years now, and me and my wife almost never fight, is because we're good together, but we also have our own time. But anyway, second subject. At night, once the kids are in bed, once we've eaten dinner, we've cleaned up the kitchen, we've done all that. The wife goes to watch some useless fucking show that's horrible, like the Kardashians or fucking some stupid shit with a bunch of women that are just miserable people. You know, all these people, these reality shows, they're all just a bunch of miserable people. But I'll come up here to the cigar room. I'll pick out a nice cigar. It's like a fucking meditative thing for me, man. I stand here, I look at the wall. I'm like, what whiskey do I want to drink tonight? I look down at the humidor. I pick out a cigar. I sit down. I'll pop on an audiobook sometimes if I'm in the mood to do that, or I'll maybe some music occasionally. More often than not, I'll watch some Netflix or some YouTube, catch up on YouTube, watch a little Best Damn EDC.
Hey, why don't you have a TV in there?
I do.
Oh, I thought I didn't know you had a TV in there. I was about to say, like, you need a TV in there.
No, there's a TV on the wall right there. Yeah,
no, there's shit. Yeah. I'd never leave that room.
Well, right. So I sit down with a nice glass, and I don't feel that. I look forward to the end of the day. I look forward to that. I get a little whiskey, a little cigar. That relaxes me. I don't have the feeling that is not as special to me because I do it every night. If it starts to feel that way, in my opinion, the way that you could fucking kind of fix that is have special bottles that you don't drink, but occasionally, right? And I have those. I have some expensive bottles that were kind of high end. They cost me a lot of money, and I don't drink them all the time. I have my daily drinkers, my early times, my 1920, my Old Forester 100. Those I drink all the time. And then, you got your fucking like your your Octomore and your shit like that you break out had an especially rough day. You're like, you know what? I'm going to have a fucking glass of Octomore tonight. And
see, I will say that Lagavulin still does kind of do that to me, because
there you go.
While I have some Isla Scotches, the Lagavulin is the one for me.
Is the one. It's your glory hole. What?
I don't know if I'd call it my glory hole, but
I don't know how I got around to glory holes.
But right now,
or Port dark Charlotte, mazes.
This Port Charlotte is just hitting the spot. Like the Lafroig was,
I'm pretty sure
okay, but Port Charlotte,
if I'm not mistaken, that's the same people that make Octomore.
Yeah, we've talked about this 8 times now.
Have we?
Yeah,
it's very, very possible. Wait. Oh, can you see it? Oh. Did you see it?
It does not feel good. I know that feeling all too well. In fact, I've come to the conclusion I cannot let my mustache grow.
Dude,
it just drives me crazy.
Dude, look at that. Come on. You want to talk about mustache length? Come on. I can hit the mic from like 4-5 inches away with that thing. Dude, what if I wear my mustache like that? Would you guys all fuck with me? If I did the whole, you want to talk about some hipster shit? What if I busted out like the big old...
Yeah, that would be some hipster shit.
No big old handlebars. No. I kind of dig the handlebars. I don't wear my mustache like that, but I mean, I don't get mad. Sometimes I'm out and I'll see an old cat that'll have he'll have he's an older dude, probably in his 60s, 70s, and he's bald headed and he's got the fucking big old, bicycle mustache or whatever. And I'm like, all right, son, you're doing it. I got you. Like, game respects game. I got you.
Well, I will say that I know that you feel that probably having a cigar helps, right?
I think so, man. And
for me, I can't say that it has.
There's two sides of the cigar, right? There's two different ways to enjoy a cigar. Okay, either by yourself, right? Which in that aspect, to me, it's almost a meditative thing. It slows you down. Smoking a cigar is a long, slow activity. It's hard to do that and do a lot of other things. So it kind of forces you to kind of relax, chill, smoke the cigar, drink the whiskey or the coffee or whatever. The other thing is doing it in a community type way or a social type setting where you go to a lounge, you're sitting around with a couple of your buddies and you're shooting the shit and you're talking about things, which also is its own form of stress relief, right? So that's what you've been partaking in lately, right? You said it was really good because you go and you talk about business shit and you get ideas off your head with these dudes at the cigar lounge. And
yeah, that's how it's been helpful for me. I have been scheduling my weeks out. Monday has become my admin day. And Friday has become the cigar lounge day. So I really only have 3 full working days now, which sucks. But at the same time, I've been able to go there. So around 3 p.m. on Fridays, we go to the Cigar Loft and
That's
just
a really
a couple
cool
of
place,
guys.
by the way.
Yeah, it's a couple of guys that are also small business owners that are local, people that have helped me work. My real estate guy, just a few people that I know. We go there on Fridays and just clear our heads and just slow down and just end out the week in a really relaxed way instead of how I normally have been ending my Fridays or my weeks for the last 10 years, which is balls to the wall until like 10 p.m.
Yeah,
and I go
dude.
home and Alex is asleep, the baby's asleep, and then I'm just like fucking zapped, and I go home and watch Netflix for like 6 hours, and then I hate my life. That's been Friday for me for like as long as I can remember. So
Now,
I'm
now you're
trying
going to the
to.
lounge. You're talking with other business owners. You're getting ideas out there, getting thoughts. You're having a little cigar. I'm telling you, dude. People can say what they want about cigars and what they're great, dude. They're fucking great. There's one guy I told you did a video, and he argues that the health benefits of the relaxation you get out of a cigar far outweigh the minuscule risks as long as you're doing it in an appropriate manner, well ventilated place. Blah blah blah. You've heard me say this shit before.
Well, the thing is, I've been reading about it a lot, and there's kind of some back and forth on it, but on the health effects of smoking cigars.
Right.
So that's one thing that kind of holds me back, but I don't know.
My common sense, okay, because here's the thing. Just like with everything these days, you can go to www.imright.com and you're going to find some article of some motherfucker that has given you a whole lot of reasons to justify your particular camp of thought, right? I've seen studies where they've done things and they say that there's almost no risk in smoking cigars up to a couple a day, which they consider moderate, as long as it's in a well-ventilated area. I've also heard these other anti-smoking, anti-cigarette shit people say that one cigar is like a pack of cigarettes, right?
Yep.
Okay, first off, that's just bullshit. Now, there might be as much tobacco in a cigar, and maybe that's where they're going with that because they're ignorant.
The tobacco and nicotine.
Right. Yeah. That could potentially be true. But I don't think the part that these people aren't considering is a cigarette you inhale. You inhale that into your lungs, which is 100 times worse. A cigar you just puff. So I don't think they're considering that. They're just looking at nicotine per nicotine. By the way, nicotine isn't the part in the cigarette that is bad for you. My doctor used to tell me that. He's like, nicotine's not the problem. It's the fucking delivery system that's the problem, right?
Yeah. It's like 50 other chemicals in tobacco that are carcinogens.
The other thing about cigars is it's a completely natural product. It's untreated with any chemicals, right? Cigarette tobacco is treated with all kinds of chemicals, and there's all this weird shit found, and it's rolled in paper, which is bleached, and there's ammonia and there's all kinds of bad shit in cigarettes. This is just tobacco.
Cigarettes smell like ass too.
Right.
Cigars do not. So there is a big difference. Yeah.
This is just tobacco that has been fermented naturally, no chemicals used, with another tobacco leaf wrapped around it. Right. And as long as you're not inhaling that into your lungs and you're in a well-ventilated area where you're not breathing that shit into your respiratory system, my logic says, fuck everybody. I don't think it's going to be that big of a situation. There's probably a minor increase of risk for mouth and throat cancer because, you do get the saliva mixed in with the smoke and stuff like that. But I just know I was a smoker for years. And when I was a smoker, I would wake up in the morning and cough up shit, and I would get out of breath easy and stuff like that. And I quit smoking 10, 15 years ago. I've smoked cigars forever, and I don't cough up anything in the morning. I don't have a problem with getting out of breath and stuff like I did when I was a cigarette smoker because I'm not breathing the shit into my fucking lungs. So just my own, fact-based shit that I've experienced, they're not even close to the same thing.
Well, I'm still looking for an opportunity to smoke that Cookie Monster. So,
dude, the opportunity is now, son. You don't ever need a opportunity to smoke a fucking Cookie Monster.
I'm in a unventilated room. Otherwise, I would be smoking it.
Yeah, you need to figure out some ventilation in there. For
sure. Well, the next space we'll have, hopefully we'll have a little workout studio, a shower, and an air purifier with some ventilation. So that's the plan.
I think you're really going to like that Cookie Monster. And then next month, I don't know if I'm allowed to
I
say.
love the last call. That was a very good cigar.
I think I'm allowed to say. I don't think Brian or anybody's going to get butthurt because I think he said it on social platforms before. Next month is going to be the Death Bucket 2, which is a Matt Booth. It's not that kind of bucket. Like the first one.
Hey, you just gonna turn around and leave me here?
No, the Death Bucket 2. That's this cigar right here. So hit the there you go. Can you see the band? It's like
barely.
It's like a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket with hold on. There we go.
Yeah, that's much more visible now.
It's like chicken legs. It's like a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket with Matt Booth in it.
Nice.
That's Matt Booth. That's the guy that blends the cigar. He's in it. Oh fuck! I just did it. That's nothing.
So I smoked that last call on Thursday, or not Thursday, Saturday. We had like an early Thanksgiving, and I smoked it there because. Just side note, really quickly, Alex's uncle they moved into this historic house in Mount Airy, which is ironically, so Alex's family is from all different parts of North Carolina, but mostly like Concord area where we live now. And her aunt and uncle moved to Dunn, North Carolina, which is way out in the middle of nowhere, like Raleigh area, center of the state, not anywhere close to where we are. And then they, out of nowhere, out of the blue, they bought a house in Mount Airy or Westfield. And that house is like a quarter mile from Martin Road, which is all my family's there, right? Like that's where my family comes from, Martin Road.
Martin Road, right?
Right. So,
by the way, you're in a fairly rural area when people have roads named after their family.
Yeah. So the first time we ever go to that house, I'm like, Alex, this is my stomping grounds. Like, this is like, I don't mean like I'm from this county. I'm like, this is like the road.
Right. These are my folks. These are my people.
So we're standing in their yard and there's a guy walking down the road and they're like, hey, Damer. And I'm like, Damer? That's a relative of mine. And then just this past weekend, there's a guy on a horse riding down the road and we stop him because we wanted to show Eleanor the horse. It turns out it's like my second cousin. I mean, they're just always, it's so bizarre, but they got this old historic house there and they're renovating it. And they had this, I guess it was a separate kitchen because that's how houses used to be. They had like separate bathrooms and kitchens and stuff.
Sure.
But they've turned that second little building into what they call the pub, and it's a wet bar and a cigar lounge.
Oh yeah, see that's dude, the life right there. So.
I meant to take pictures and show you, but I didn't.
That's the way to do it.
I'm so jealous, and whenever we get a house, I've got to have that. Whether I like whatever happens with the studio, like maybe I don't get into a studio until we're able to buy a house, and then I just build a building out back and do it all the way I want to do it. That would be ideal. That'd be perfect. But
that is like my dream scenario, right? Is to have like maybe like a 1,500 square foot area outside of my house, like on my property, but not in my normal domicile.
Yep. That's the goal, but
that has like one area that's kind of like a shooting studio area and, you know, maybe a couple different sets or whatever. And then like one area that's just like a lounge, right? That's like got a bar and a place to sit and some nice leather chairs and sofas and whatnot. But again, outside of my typical home, but on the property.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do any major commuting.
My ideal is having like 20 acres or more.
Oh, sure. I told you I was looking at properties there for a while that were like close to 100. Like, yeah, I was wanting a chunk of dirt,
dude. I was on Reddit the other day, and there's this guy who has just been buying up silver and gold and stuff and selling it and making money on it. And dude, he bought in cash land in Maine. He bought 78 acres. What do you think he paid for it?
In Maine?
Yeah.
Like $5?
Pretty much.
It's cold as fuck up there, man. No, I mean, Maine's pretty.
$29,000 $29,000 for
crazy.
78 acres, dude. That
Because
is
it's cold as fuck up
dirt
there, dude.
cheap.
That is. I mean,
It
don't
is
get me wrong.
cold.
I've heard it's beautiful. I've never actually been up there. I heard it's beautiful up there, but like, it's not exactly a coveted area of the United States because it's fucking freezing up there most of the time.
Yeah, but when I would love. I mean, if I end up getting an office now, if I'm impatient and get an office now, I'm probably going to be stuck with like a 5-year term, and it's going to cost a lot, and I don't really want to do that. But I'm stuck here, and I'm month to month, and I don't like the way things are right now, and it may be like 9-10 months before I can buy a house. So I don't know, but ideally, in my mind, I would buy a house that already has a building out back, and just turn that into what I want it to be. But I don't know. That's a long shot. But property around here is not cheap. That's the problem. Like we found, there was a property that went up not too far back, like a couple months ago. It was like 30 acres, and they wanted like $500,000 for it. And the house basically needed to be bulldozed and rebuilt. So,
well, dude, I showed you that piece of. I think I showed you that piece
expensive
of property that I saw in South Carolina. That was like, I mean, it was like 600 grand, I think. So, I mean, it wasn't cheap, but dude, for what you got for 600 grand, it was like a main house that was like fairly fucking nice. And I want to say it was like a 3,500 square foot main house. There was like a 1,500 or 2,000 square foot guest house. And it was on 98 fucking acres with like lakes and streams and shit. And it was like 600 grand. And I'm like, 600 grand is a lot of money, but that's a lot for 600 grand.
Jeremy, I just had the best idea.
What's that?
You've got to move to Kannapolis, which is right near Concord.
I was about to say, where the fuck is Kannapolis? That sounds like you tried to say Minneapolis and had a stroke.
It's
Kannapolis.
Dude, Kannapolis is Dale Earnhardt country. Okay. We have a Dale Earnhardt Boulevard because it used to be Highway 3. Gotcha. I'm not even joking. No, it's about 15 minutes from where my office is now. There is a lot for sale. It's been for sale for a while because it's a shit ton of money. But it's 104 acres. There are 3 houses on the property and like 8 or 9 barns, 2 ponds.
That's what I'm talking about, son. That's what I'm talking about. A fucking compound. That's what I'm talking about.
4 million.
Okay, I'm not talking about that. That's a little much.
But just think about it. Like we could have like a man shit compound.
But I mean, that's why I was talking about that place for 600, dude. For 600, they had a barn on that property too. For 600,000, 98 acres with a very nice house with a pool, a secondary house that was like, I think it was either 1,500 or 2,000 square feet. A whole second, like on the, maybe 100 yards away from the main house, maybe not even that far. And a barn and 98 fucking acres. Like for $600,000, that just seems like a pretty good deal to me.
Yeah. Well, my family has a lot of land, but it's all in places that I don't want to be permanently.
I think I want to be, whenever I can get around to buying some property, I really think I want to be up near Asheville. I think that's where.
Same. Dude, there was a property in Asheville. It was.
Well, my cousin lives up there and she loves it. She says it is awesome up there. I mean, she says it's beautiful up there. The people up there are awesome. She's just in love with that area. But I think it's kind of expensive up in that region, right? Like, isn't it kind of Asheville's a little bit of a high dollar?
They call it Little Portland for a reason.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. It's one of the most, if not the most expensive places to live in North Carolina.
But the thing is, you could live just outside of that, right? And still have easy access to that, but get some acreage that's a little bit, outside of Asheville. I don't need to be in the pit of it.
There was a plot of land I looked at a few years ago. It was like 25 acres and it was 15 minutes outside Asheville, and it was on the French Broad River. It had 400 yards of French Broad River access. 400 yards of river access. The only downside to the property that there was a Duke Energy right of way and a railroad through there.
That's one thing you don't want crazy close to your house is a railroad, because that shit's loud as fuck.
I don't fucking care.
You say that. I worked for the railroad. They're loud, and some of the shit they move on rail, you don't want near your property. Like we move some fucked up shit on trains.
There's a railroad probably a 1/10 of a mile from where I am right now.
Yeah,
Just
dude,
saying.
I don't like, well, the good news is when they move certain things, they have to take certain routes that aren't near populated areas because we ship shit like chlorine gas. I say I don't work for a railroad anymore, but we work, that first stroke of the night, stroke count one. That's a Bourbon Junkies thing. They give Dan stroke counts when he mispronounces shit. But yeah, they move shit like chlorine gas, which is super not good. Like, that train has an issue and derails or that thing. I mean, you're talking square miles of people all dead. Like, it's just not good.
But
It's
I'm
not
just
good
saying
stuff.
it was a really sick property and they wanted 295 for it. There wasn't a house on it, but still like that amount of acreage that close to Asheville was a really, really good price.
Oh, sure.
And I was actually talking to like 4 friends about trying to come together and buy that land and all build houses there. I'd split up 25 acres with my friends, but
I told my parents that.
they were friends at the time. I don't know that I
told
would
my
want to.
parents that. I said, because you know, like I've said many times, my dad hasn't been doing well with cancer and all that stuff. And I said, man, let's just all sell our shit, move somewhere and buy a bunch of acreage, and we can build you a house and me a house, all, you know, a little bit away. I don't need to be on top of you, but close enough I can get to you if you need help. And we could just have a sire's compound, man, you know, just have like everybody all on the same property, but have a bunch of acres somewhere.
I saw somebody in the chat up here mention.
Oh, by the way, yeah, we should probably get to that because it's hour 46. We should probably start doing a little chatting with the chatty peoples in there at some point. What was our normal counts tonight? Where did we get to? We're at 250. I think we've been hovering around 253 for the most part.
280. 288 was the high that I saw.
288. Yeah. So we're still not close to me getting lockjaw on that huge cigar. We're still very far away.
But there is another little metric or milestone rather.
Oh yeah, what did I agree to? I forgot what I even agreed to.
I printed a dick whistle with my 3D printer over here.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna ship one to Jeremy, and he's got to blow it on camera when we hit 500 concurrent.
500 concurrent. I've got to blow the dick whistle.
And he's gonna chortle that shit too.
The only agreement was you had to blow the dick whistle the same time as me, and we had to wait. I got to go this way. This way. We had to blow the dick whistles this way. That way, it looked like we were on either ends of a double-ended dildo.
Speaking of that 104-acre plot in Kannapolis, this is what Ryan suggested: man shit retreats. Just think about that as a business venture, like.
Dude, I guarantee you somebody does that.
Log cabins.
I guarantee you there is somewhere range up in the fucking mountains with a shooting range and hunting and like axe throwing and fucking fires and shooting and like 4-wheel drive course, like, you know, trails. I guarantee you that exists somewhere. That's an awesome idea.
That would be guarantee. Sweet.
It's got to exist somewhere, right?
Why is it every time something crazy pops up, we get a shirt recommendation?
Dick whistle.
Dick whistle shirt. Below this. It just says below this, and it's a dick whistle.
Dick whistle. I think that could be a thing. That we should actually earmark that. That should actually potentially be like a real thing. There has been a couple of these that have come up that I think need to actually come to fruition at some point. Like some of them have been pretty good. I think dick whistle could be potentially one of them because I think that's just hilarious that you even print. I think it's just hilarious you printed a dick whistle.
I was going to surprise you with it.
I think that's the greatest.
That was the plan. I was going to just send it with a no return address. So I was just going to send it to your house. So you open it up and you're like, what the fuck is this? And who is it from? But since you FaceTimed me and you were already on a call with Chad, I felt like I would blow the dick whistle and blow the gag.
It was good. And that's 500 concurrent. We've got a double-ended see, if I put my hand there and you put your hand on the other side, Taylor, like that right there. See, it can almost look like we're in the same room. We did that on the podcast one night and somebody said that it's breaking through the fourth wall. So if there was a dick whistle there, I'm just saying the things we do for you guys to try to encourage channel growth.
David Stewart says, just want to wish Jeremy Taylor and everyone else on the show tonight happy Thanksgiving next week's.
Yes. We are going to do a Thanksgiving themed podcast the night before. I don't know if the night before a lot of people will be busy, so it might not be a hugely active show. I don't know if we'll get as many people as normal, but it isn't interrupting necessarily with Thanksgiving. So we're going to try to jump on here next Wednesday night and talk about maybe our favorite Thanksgiving foods or how we do turkeys. And we won't get into that because we talked about that the other day on the phone. I have very, very serious opinions on turkey and Thanksgiving.
Should we be on stream with some smoked turkey?
We can't talk about it anymore because it'll ruin what we're talking about next week. We can't. I have very strong opinions about the turkey situation in Thanksgiving, but I don't want to get into it.
Jeremy only eats turkey from glory holes. That's the spoiler.
And only if it's the turkey neck. Just the turkey neck. Just a turkey neck through a glory hole. That's the only way I eat turkey.
Just when I think that sulfuric farts is the worst that we're going to have on this episode, Jeremy talks about eating the turkey neck in a glory hole.
Dude, that's a gag I do almost every single year, is hang the turkey neck out of my zipper and then walk into a room and then watch everybody go, oh God, because it looks so much like it could be a real thing. Yeah, that's a almost every year type thing for me.
Oh man, of course. I expect nothing more.
Yes, it's true.
And nothing less.
Yes, it's something. It almost happens every single year. Let's see. Gizzards to glory holes. Let's see. All
right. Hit us with some questions, guys.
Let's see. Only drink wild turkey. Hey, Wild Turkey 101, dude, is a damn fine budget bourbon.
I probably need to try some because I keep blowing through my my old Forester.
Get you a bottle of Wild Turkey 101, man. I think for it's like $18 for a bottle of it. It's fucking cheap as shit. I think you can get it I want to say if it's not sub 20, it's definitely extremely low 20s. It's not an expensive bottle.
Alex, you just walked into Whiskey Knife Fight, my guy.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna get weird. That should be our shirt, our logo for our shirt. It should say Whiskey Knife Fight. We could have the logo, and then below it should just say things are gonna get weird.
Because Alex is one of my Discord mods, by the way. So
things are gonna get weird.
Things are going to get weird. Buffalo Trace is all right too at the price range. I have never seen Buffalo Trace in my stores ever.
Here's the thing about Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace, I would normally agree with him. I have for many years suggested Buffalo Trace is a good kind of budget bourbon, right? Because you can usually get Buffalo Trace sub $30, usually $24 to $28 for a 750. I did that video where I blinded. It came in fucking dead last when I blinded it. Came in below Wild Turkey 101. Now this is for me. Taste is subjective, right? Some people might not feel that way, but it came in dead last for me.
We should do a blind on the podcast sometime, but I don't know how to pour it blind.
You would have you have to get help, right? So the way I did it is I had the wife pour it and then shuffle it about, and then
I'm here by myself, so
yeah, that'd be
that.
tough. Oh, I know how I can do it. I can send you samples,
4 bottles, and number them, but not tell me what the numbers are.
Right, I can give you a key, or I'll have the key, and it can have.
Let's do that.
That's how the junkies do their whiskey wars and stuff. People send them blind whiskey wars where they try to like guess which whiskey it is, or guess the proof, or the proof and the whiskey, or whatever, and rank them. Yeah, I can send you. Obviously, it's going to be better because I have more samples, more things to send you that and then you can rank them. We'll do
let's
that.
Do that. I think that'd be great.
Yeah,
maybe that's what we should do with the old bourbon junkies.
Yeah, because they'll be on here in. Like I said, they said they'd love to do it. We just need to nail down a day. I think for right now, we're talking about hopefully maybe the 11th of next month, right? We're tentatively, that's what we're going to try to see if we can get squared away.
Yeah. So our tentative schedule is next week is going to be kind of a Thanksgiving special. And then the following week is going to be the first week of December. So we're going to do a Friday night hangout on the 4th.
Right.
And then theoretically, if everything goes to plan,
and the junkies are available,
we'll have the junkies on. Yeah.
Right. Theoretically. I haven't talked to him about it yet. I mean, we talked to him about having him on the podcast and they said, sure, but I haven't given them that exact date, but it's far enough away that hopefully we can make that happen.
Justin Caselli says, Taylor, you won't get those bottles until next July. True.
Well, here's the thing. The reason I say that might not be accurate is if it's pending a thing we've got coming up where it's got to happen because of a thing, the chances are much higher.
Yeah, how's that Swiss Army knife? You still didn't send that with all the other stuff you sent me.
Oh, dude, I didn't, did I?
Or the hat.
Fuck. I wish
Um,
well, here's the thing. I got to send you some samples soon. Once I get my sample bottles, when I send you the samples, I'll put the hat in there, the Swiss Army knife, and I got a couple other things I'm going to send you.
Brian Roddy says Long Branch is really good. I've seen it in stores. It's the
You know who that is, don't you?
Matthew
Yeah, I was about to say
McConaughey,
that's all
but I've not
right,
tried
all
it.
right, all right, all
Have you tried
right,
it?
all right. No, I have not.
Maybe I'll pick it up when I go to the ABC store next. Because they always have
I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard some people really enjoy it, and some, I mean, you get that with most whiskey, right? But I've heard some people really enjoy it, some people not.
Jose, I'm so glad to see you in here. Jose is a friend of mine, a longtime viewer, a former mod of the Discord server. He says, "Are we drinking for stress? Was this the solution?" Always. It's always the solution. I'm just happy to see you, Jose. I've not talked to you in a very long time. I'm very glad to see you in here.
Can I say, A, what's up to Jose? Jose. B, this cigar isn't smoking very great, dude. I'm having a hard time with it. Like, I don't know if there's a leak in it or what, but normally I really like LFDs and they're usually really well constructed cigars. But this one, I'm having a little bit of a tough time.
Justin says, Taylor, did he send you a glass? He said he would.
I will.
But he hasn't.
I'll definitely get him one. Dude, we need to talk about his glasses for a second.
Yeah, there was a question for you though. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
Hang on. Where was it? I saw it. Go ahead. I'll try to find it.
Oh my God. Some people got so butthurt about the price point of those glasses, dude. I mean, Jesus, some people got so butthurt about the price of those glasses. And just to clarify for the people that are in here, how many people are in here right now? We got 253. Yes, they're $100 glass. Okay. I fully understand that is an expensive ass fucking whiskey glass. That there's no doubt that it is. It was supposed to be. Like when we made the whiskey glass, there are things we could have done to make it much cheaper. I could have not put a full stamp of the logo with the whole bottom stamp, which just getting that stamp made added cost, right? They come in a walnut box that's engraved. We could have taken that out and just shipped it in a fucking cardboard box and taken cost out. We could have not spent months getting this shape the way we wanted and, not give half of these back to the guy that hand blows them, because every time the shape's just not the way we want them, we give them back and he has to throw them back in the kiln and it wastes a bunch of his time.
Can I just say that I love how imperfect this Pete's glass is?
That's the beauty of the hand blown glass, right?
Yeah, it's not level. It doesn't even sit straight. When I sit it on the table, the top of the glass is like angled. Right. I love it. The beauty.
I mean, you can see like the waffles in the glass where, because it's not done by a machine, it's done by a guy. There's like differences in the thickness of the glass and stuff from it being hand blown. But it was not a cheap glass to manufacture. Okay. And it took a lot of time and a lot of effort, and it was meant to be a special custom glass that you bought one of. And it's like your special glass that when you're wanting to have a nice drink and have a little special pour, you break it out with your nice cigar and and it's a special thing. It wasn't supposed to be a $20 Glencairn. Like, people were so butthurt about it. They're like, but these glasses are only $15. Why? I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. If that, okay, then don't buy it. Like, I'm not trying to be rude when I say that, but like, it wasn't meant to be a cheap, inexpensive glass. It was meant to be a special one-off glass. That being said, I am going to come out with some cheaper options. I've got some Glencairns in the works and stuff for people that don't want to spend that kind of money. But I was amazed at the outrage of some people that it's like, look, I get it. If you're like, hey, $100 for glass is too much for me, I completely understand that. There were people that were legit pissed off.
You know what you should do?
What?
You should
sell, next time make it 125.
No. You should put one, like, run a sale for like 5 of them, right? 5 of these. You put them like half off.
Oh God, I can't. Dude, I'd lose money on them.
No. You do it as a gag. You lose the money, but you drill a tiny hole here at the bottom, and then you put like a note at the very bottom in very small print that says like, these, like some defective ones that you sent back, and these are defective. They don't work as intended. Blah blah blah, in very fine print at the bottom. and you sell those to those people who complain. So when they pour their whiskey in it, that shit just pours out the side of the glass. That's the kind of petty shit I'd do.
But that was my thing. It's like, look, I completely understand that there's some people that don't want to spend $100 on a whiskey glass. I get that. And I'm not mad at people that say that that's a little too much that's too rich for their blood. That's fine. The people that kind of irritated me a little bit are the people that were actually like angry about it. I'm like, why would you get angry because you don't agree with the price point? If you don't like it, just don't get it. Like, it's that whole like culture we talked about.
You get that from everybody in all realms of any kind of hobbies or whatever. Like, you get it from people who don't want to pay for handmade leather goods. They'd rather buy a $15 wallet off Amazon rather than paying for $100 handmade wallet.
Right.
It's just the way it is. And
that's what I was trying to explain to people. I'm like, look, it was meant to be a luxury item that we did not spare any expense in when we were designing this. At no point did we go, how can we cut corners to make this cheaper? It was no corners cut. We want it exactly the way we want it, regardless of the price. Like,
I've got a product coming just like that.
Right.
I've got two, actually.
Exactly.
And I'm sure some people are going to be upset about the price of it, but I wanted something to exist. So I'm doing it the way I want.
That was exactly the way you wanted it without considering cost. That is what we did.
There are companies out there who are making flashlights, lots and lots and lots of flashlights. And I have gripes about every single one. So I'm making one that has every single thing I want.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, one, it's difficult to make. Two, it's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be exorbitant. It's not going to be like extremely expensive, but yeah, it's going to be a very small flashlight, and it's not going to be extremely cheap.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. There are flashlights out there that are $400, $500, $600.
There are flashlights that are $2,000 or $3,000, Jeremy.
Right, and I don't think you're going to be quite in that price point, right?
Did you ever buy this Stabenza? What happened?
But anyway, to close out this before we go on to answer more questions, I hate that some people were really mad about it. Like, my goal was not to piss people off. My goal was to create the most badass glass I could possibly create. And some people thought that I was like, it was a cash grab and all this stuff. And it really wasn't, because the markup on these is not that high. Like, it's a standard markup you would put on any product. It's not like I'm charging 8 times the price of these to try to get a cash grab. It's an expensive thing to make. But yeah,
I was going to try something else. My palate is blown, so a little more Port Charlotte is what we going with.
Dude, the Port Charlotte, the peat. But anyway, that's the glass. The goal was to keep those available throughout the holidays. So there are still some available. We tried to keep those out there so people could get them for Christmas presents if they wanted to. The Zippos are still out there. Those are still a bit. Oh, dude, did I show you this, Taylor?
I don't think so. I've seen a little bit of a tease. So that goes to the question that I had pulled up. Either of you guys have a badass flask?
Yeah.
I have a bunch of flasks. I have a copper flask, which is kind of cool. It's not really copper, but it kind of is. It's coated. It's plated in copper, but you don't want a full copper flask because copper reacts to the alcohol and can actually poison you. So that's not a good idea. But
it's not. Well, I wanted to make a glass one. Right, because glass is the only material that you can really keep whiskey in indefinitely, and it will never change the flavor of the whiskey. Right. And patina. I obviously love all things brass and copper. Wow, dude. So
wrong button.
Patina. So I wanted a glass flask with a copper cap, and we designed this thing from the ground up. And we were gonna do leather along the outside of it for a little durability kind of thing, but we love the way it looks so much. Like this, it just looks so good. You can see the whiskey and stuff.
What if you did just a little leather cover?
Well, we were thinking about it. I don't know.
Not something that's like tight to it, but just a protective case.
Just like a sleeve or something.
Just a sleeve.
We considered that, and there's a guy making one for us, like making a prototype to see if it works and if we like it. But man, everybody I've showed this to is like, dude, don't just sell it like that. It just looks too pretty. Like with the, because again, this isn't hand blown glass. This is manufactured. So I'm going to be able to get this in at a cheaper price.
Can you send me one without that name on it? Cause I hate that dude. I can't stand that dude.
It's going to have the name on it, bitch.
What a dick.
I will
send mark it out with a Sharpie.
It's going to have this on it. And then there's going to be a big cock right there.
Dick whistle.
Just a big dick whistle right there below it. But yeah, so yes, this is my flask of choice because I designed it.
So the funny part is I wanted to do a flask. I wanted to do a Zippo. I wanted to do so many things. And Jeremy beat me to the punch on all of them.
You can still do both. Hey, the Bourbon Junkies beat me. I've been doing cigar shit and smoking cigars since the Bourbon Junkies were probably 5, right? And they are coming out with a custom cigar before me. You know, I get it.
Don't worry, Jeremy. I'm going to come up with a product that's going to make you jealous. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Dick whistle?
Yes. In brass.
But I mean, there's no reason you still can't do
if I made a brass dick whistle, that's pretty much a given that Jeremy would always have a dick in his mouth. Just saying.
Okay, I definitely would have a mouth. I don't know that brass in your mouth would taste very good, but I would definitely keep it on display for sure.
Patina.
Let's see. What are questions we got? We've had 2 hours and 3 minutes. Patina, bingo. That would be EDC for sure. Leather holster, prototype. It's a thing, guys. I want one.
How did we go from whiskey to big dick?
Calvin, my man, dude. That's my dude right there, Calvin. I didn't know Calvin watched or listened to the podcast. Calvin is my
Calvin. I don't know you from Adam, but
dude, Calvin is my
Jeremy.
man. He is my man from across the pond. He lives over across the pond in the good old UK, and that guy has been watching my videos for a long, long time. He always comments. He always says, "Hey, how you doing? Hopes all's well." Calvin is my dude.
Calvin, I don't know you, but if you know Jeremy at all, do you even have to ask that question? That's my response right there.
No,
looks like a bottle of cologne. It kind of does.
It does look a little like a bottle of cologne. I'll agree with that. It does, but it's a flask and it's glass. So if you make something the shape of a flask with it being glass, it's going to kind of have that cologne vibe. I mean, but I would rather have the glass because of the whiskey. And when you put whiskey in a metal container, it does taint it eventually. You can leave whiskey in that flask till the end of time and it's going to be exactly the same. That's what they ship whiskey in, is glass.
And see, I do like that because I recently discovered that I have like 5 or 6 flasks and they all have something in them. And I was like, I don't want to waste it. So I want to try. And this is one of them. I opened it up, I tried it, and it was like, it was kind of tinny tasting.
Yeah, it gets weird.
I poured it into a glass and threw this black shit floating in it. And I was like, nope.
it gets super weird. And I'm not about it, dude. I don't like metal flask. If you're gonna go somewhere and drink, like when I go to cigar events, sometimes I'll grab, because I did not have a glass flask until recently. I'll throw it in a metal flask because if you're gonna drink it within a couple hours, it's not gonna ruin it that quick. Yeah. But I also don't like that you can't see how much is in there. You can't see when it's full. You can't see when it's getting low. I mean, you can
filling up a flask has to be the worst experience ever.
Yeah. It's not with that fucking glass one because you can see it.
Yeah. Do you know what I do to fill up a flask?
What?
I fill the flask with water and I pour that into a measuring cup, because even though it says it's like 4 or 6 ounces, it's not always 4 or 6 ounces. So I fill that shit to the top, pour it into a measuring cup, mark a line, pour it out, fill the whiskey to that line, and then pour the whiskey into a funnel into the flask. It's such a fucking pain.
Yeah. See, if you got a glass one, you don't have that problem. You can fucking see it. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know why they don't make more out of. I get why they don't make more, because obviously you lose a little bit of durability when you go glass. A metal one you drop on the floor, no big deal. You drop a glass one in the parking lot on concrete, you're probably fucked. But again, I am willing to give up that durability for it being in glass and not tainting the whiskey. Need a leather sheath for that. Yeah,
that's what I meant to tell you.
A shower holder for whiskey. I mean,
it's like one of those wine holders when you take a bath. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. Calvin loving the channel. Thanks, Calvin.
Kyle
love
says,
that
how
guy.
much is your wallet? It's our Friday. I don't know what that last question is, but this is the wallet. Let me take that down. Switch to this view. This is the wallet, the slim wallet from Redeemed Creations.
Oh, that's your exclusive, right?
Yeah, so I finally have the green thread. The last one that I had didn't have the green thread or my logo, but now got the logo on both sides. There it goes. They are $50. They'll be available on Friday. If you are a patron, a copper patron, they are available now.
Dude, we got to do a whole episode on leather. I've got a thing for leather.
Can we wait until my product is available?
Sure. Yeah. I'm just saying I'm just saying we need to do, because I've got a lot of opinions on leather.
Have you seen this? I don't think you have. Hang on. I'm going to close it first before I show you.
What is that? Kind of reminds me of some of the old biker wallets I used to carry when I had my Harley. Oh, so it's like a little EDC pouch, but it buttons up. It's like Hitchin Timber 2.0.
But it's thick as shit. There's nothing in here right now, and it's still already thick.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the problem. And that, I want to hit that one real quick before I'm just leaving my screen here so I can remember to answer this guy. That's the problem, right? Is the thickness that starts to become, especially in the summer, it becomes a real issue. In the winter, you have more pockets, you have jackets and stuff. You can keep stuff in. I think you talked about this on a video you did recently with your EDC update. You can get away with a lot more in the winter than you can in the summer. Last winter, I was carrying a Hitchin Timber organizer pretty much throughout the entire winter. And when summer hit, I ditched it. Just because I went to a smaller one for a little while, and then eventually I just ditched it, and I just went with just normal carry until, right.
This is the summer solution.
See, but I don't often, even that to me, here's been my main thing, right? Is with Corona, I haven't been out as leave. You don't leave as much. So we talked about it last week. Do. So it's like, because
I come to my office every day,
so I always have a pocket knife. Even at home, because I'm always opening packages or doing this or cleaning my nails or prepping food or doing stuff. I use my knife 100 times a day. But other than a knife I keep my wallet in my pocket for what reason, I don't know. I don't need my wallet at my house, but I do tend to carry it. That and my phone. Like, that's all I really keep in my pockets when I'm at the house. Somebody asked for an ashtray update. The ashtrays, I think we're dropping very small quantities of these at a time, just because we're getting very small amounts of them in at a time, because they're just expensive as shit to order and they're hard to manufacture. I think the number that Chad told me is each one of these ashtrays takes like 8 hours to machine or some crazy shit like that. Right. So they're taking a long time. So we're only going to get small amounts of them in at a time. There won't be like a big drop of hundreds of them or anything. I think we're going to try to do the first drop of a few, I think next week or the week after, I think is what we're shooting for. But man, if people were mad about the price of those glasses, wait till they fucking, they're going to be hot about these ashtrays. But
yeah.
But dude, if people knew what these ashtrays cost us to make, that I don't think they would be mad about the price that they're going to come in at, because we're not even making the amount that is the amount you're supposed to always mark stuff up for retail to make it like a worth a thing to do. We're not even making that much on these because of how expensive they are. So, I mean, I hope people don't fucking get their butt hurt like they did with the glasses, because
everybody always does. Smiling Beard says, did someone say patina? No, but patina. Someone asked a question. Oh, Justin Casilli asks, roughly how many cards does it hold? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I have some very thin cards. Like the license is a very thin card. There are 3 pockets on this. So front, back, and middle, and those each hold 2 to 3 cards. So you could hold up to 9 cards in this, but it would really be pushing this.
That's a lot of cards, though, man. I would say most people probably carry 6 or less, though, right?
Yeah,
like I feel like that's
like these 3 cards here are paper thin. My driver's license, my fishing license, and my insurance card are paper thin. That's like 1 card thickness, honestly. And then I have 2 in the middle, and then 1 there. So I have technically about 4 or 5 cards in it, but it'll hold quite a few. If you don't like a minimalist wallet, I don't think I have it on me. It's over there. I have another wallet that I think I'll be dropping as a Carry Commission exclusive that'll hold more cards. So if that's not enough for you and you don't care about super minimalist and want more of a bifold style, I will have one for Carry Commission soon.
Dude, I think it's funny. Some of the prices people are saying on these ashtray, they're like 125. I hope it's no more than 125. Some of the numbers people are putting out here, it literally cost me more than that to make these. I would be losing money if I sold them at some of the prices people are talking. It's a 5-pound block of brass. Just the material alone is expensive. And then it takes 8 hours of machining to make one. Do you really think it's going to be that cheap? Come on.
Just a hint, like average machining cost, at least in the US, from what I know, is like $15 per hour just for cost.
Right. And there's,
I don't know what it is. I don't know where.
Right.
Like, every place is different, but
I think he said there's around 8 hours of machining. There's an hour of hand polishing and the materials and labor costs and everything else. So, you can hope it's not going to be more than 125 or 150, but you can wish in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up first, buddy. Cause I would be losing money if I sold them at that price.
Chris Clark says, anyone know whatever happened to Musk and Hustle? Haven't seen them around on any socials for a long time. It seems I heard from them a while back, like 4 or 5 months ago. We were supposed to be doing something together. And I reached out maybe a month ago and I have not heard anything. So I don't know if Musk and Hustle, Musk and Hustle.
Stroke too. Musk and Hustle.
If Musk and Hustle goes away, I will be very, very sad because number 24 is like my lifeblood. I love.
You've been telling me about Musk and Hustle. God damn, now you had me stroking. You've been telling me about this Musk and Hustle for a while.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good stuff, dude. A tube. They say it's supposed to last like a month, but it's $20 and they last me about 3 months.
Right.
So, Steven Sheehan says, do you guys use Rodecaster Pros from Rode? Yeah. So we have the Pod Mics and the Rodecaster Pros, and that is how we have this.
I enjoy a good Truly. Get the fuck out of here. I swear to God, I'm going to drive to your house and break your fucking Rodecaster. You son of a bitch. I did not say that. I'm going to make one up of you being like, I fuck something horrible that like makes you seem like a horrible person.
You say you didn't say that, but just listen to it.
I enjoy a good Truly. Dude, I'm going to say you did do a fantastic job on that edit because it does sound legit as fuck. But you can watch the actual podcast where he got that, and you will not find that in there at all.
It's in there. It's in there. Actually, I think those words came from the same sentence. I just cut out like 2 words in between.
Right.
And then cut off the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. I normally like to drink coffee. Coffee. I want that caffeine, baby. And I know this is going to sound super like booze.
I really do.
I can't disagree. I enjoy a good Truly.
I've never wanted to stab you in your fucking eye more than right now.
Oh, shit. This fucking contact. The other night this was happening. It's happening again. This fucking contact is wrecking my life right now. You don't wear contacts, do you, Taylor?
I have 20/15 vision or 15/20, whichever one it is.
Every now and then this one contact like goes contacts. They have to sit a certain way in your eye to be in focus. Right. So like if you blink, sometimes they'll get out of focus and it's fucking with my emotions right now.
Where was it? Jeremy loves Truly, but that's not why I clicked on this. Pomegranate is his favorite. Can I just say that pomegranates are the fucking worst? I love how they taste. I love pomegranates. I really do.
I don't understand what the fuck they're like little seeds, little beads of weirdness. Like I don't understand what those fruits are.
I want you to look at my finger. Okay. Look how gross my finger looks right now.
Well, I mean, that's because you've been thumbing your ass the whole time we've been sitting here. That's what it looks like. It looks like you were about first knuckle deep in your butthole is what it looks like.
So I had to seed 2 pomegranates for this fruit salad thing that I had to make for Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh.
And my hands were black when I finished, and I washed them. And ever since Saturday, I've just had like black all over my hands. It will not wash away. I've tried everything, will not go away.
Dude,
Even
there's
like working hands, like nothing will get the shit off of there.
There's Calvin says it's 3:30 a.m. I've drank so much coffee, I'm wired. Dude, welcome to my day. Like, I drink coffee all day, and espresso. I don't even fuck around with normal coffee that much. I'm just drinking like straight espresso. There was this stuff. What the fuck was it called? It was this black stuff that we used to use to treat metal with. I can't think of what it was called.
Caswell.
But dude, you got that shit on your hands, and like, good luck, bro. You could scrub them shits with any chemical you could think of, and anything short of hydrochloric acid that would eat your skin off would not get this shit off. You just had to wait for it to wear off.
It's like black walnut. It's like black walnut. Like, you cannot get black walnut off your clothes. If you get black walnut on your clothes, it's there. It's like there. Fucking bleach, but in the opposite direction. You know?
Yeah,
like,
you just have to, like, there's certain things when you work with your hands, like products and chemicals and paints and stains and stuff, that you forget it. I don't care what kind of paint thinner, mineral spirits, what you scrub, fucking lava soap, you just got to let it wear off. Yep. Like, it's just, when I used to work in the garage more, my hands were rough looking all the time. My hands look pretty good these days because I'm not getting out in the garage as much as I used to.
And that's the thing. I started working on the trailer a few months ago to get it ready, and got it ready, and then I had to come in and shoot like a knife video or something. It's super close ups of my hands, and they looked fucking gross. And I like clipped my nails and dug under them to get them all clean and scrub my hands. Nothing. It still looks.
Speaking of gross hands, you ever seen Adam's hands?
Oh, they're disgusting,
dude. His hands are fucking horrible.
Wait.
But he revels in the fact that his hands are disgusting. Like, because he works with them every day, man. Like, you just, when you put your hands through that much shit, you just can't get them clean. That's like when I used to lift more often. My calluses on my hands were fucking disgusting. I mean, but it was because I lifted constantly, and it just, my hands were gross. Brandon says, I wish coffee did. Yeah. See, I mean, his hands are rough, bro. They're rough.
Yeah. That's like a standard day for Adam Savage.
I will say he could clip those fucking nails back a little bit and help his situation a tad. Like,
oh, for sure.
The stuff in the nail beds and the black fingernail, though, that's just from working with your hands, man. You get busted up nail beds from you smacking your hand with something. You get stuff down in the cuticle and in the creases of your finger that you just can't get out no matter how hard you scrub it. So, I mean, that's just, that's just the nature of the beast, man. I used to keep a couple toothbrushes and stuff in the shower so I could just try to scrub all the stuff out when I was showering, and a certain amount of that stuff just won't come off.
You got to use a wire brush.
Yeah.
Get those metal bristles up under the fingernails.
You don't have the stains on there anymore. You just have scabs everywhere. So,
you don't have skin either.
You don't have skin either. You just have scabs all over your hand from
Nick Andretti says, Taylor, thanks for recommending Brandywine coffee roasters. Hell yes. Hell yeah. Brandywine is very good. It's the seal of approval for me. Jeremy, you need to try it.
Calvin says try paint thinner and then wash up. The reason I said this comment, paint thinner does work on a lot of stuff. Lacquer thinner, paint thinner, turpentine, all that stuff. And then washing up fluid. I said that because I love that people in the UK call it washing up fluid. I fucking love that. It's my favorite. Can I just say I love people in the UK with their vernacular and the way they say things? I just really like their what is it, vernacular? Is that the word I'm looking for? With their what's it called? Like the way the like
dialect,
not just the dialect, but what's it called? Like your slang that different countries use or whatever. Like the I don't know, I'm fucking stroking out right now. I can't think of it, but I really enjoy a good Truly. Fuck you, Taylor. Fuck you. If I could get you, goddamn, I'd choke the shit out of you. But I love the way. I love the way British people, I love the way they call things very much different than we do. Washing up fluid. That's like my favorite thing. I love it.
That is my favorite thing in the world right now.
I know it is because it's fucking pissing me off. I swear to God, I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send you a glass.
Oh, man.
But what I'm not going to tell you is I'm going to rub my pecker around the rim of it and stuff before I send it, so that if you drink out of it, you get a little bit of something special.
I
You'd be
know
like,
that
"Why?"
it's coming. I know that it's coming from Chad. So,
No, I'll send you one of the ones I have here.
oh, okay. I'll just watch it. I'll watch anything coming from Jeremy. Never trust a package from Jeremy.
Dude, who was it that did that? Was it a friend of mine? Who was it that did it?
Oh man, I'm crying.
They took their dick and they laid it across somebody's phone screen like such, and then put it down. And then we were at a get together or something, if I'm remembering this correctly. And then, the person was using their phone and whatever. And they're like, dude, what's that on your phone screen? And like, what do you mean? They're like, look at it. Cause you know how like when your phone's off and you look at it in the light, he's like, it looks like there's a smudge or something, dude. And when you held it in the light, you could perfectly see a shaft in the fucking helmet. He was so hostile. So when any of my friends are around, you don't leave your phone, because they will either do some shit like that, or it is not uncommon for them to take a picture of their balls. And then like, you go to your pictures and there's like 4 pictures of some dude's nutsack in there from where they took a bunch of pictures of their nuts. That's a very common thing. When my friends are around, you do not leave your phone while you go to the bathroom or whatever. You always put it in your pocket when you leave the room.
Justin, I 100% support this idea. 100%. And I support this idea. Next audio clip of Jeremy. I love a good dick whistle.
Hey, I did say that though. I don't think he even has to edit the audio to get that across. I don't believe so.
Yeah, that was time well spent. That sound clip was worth every second.
You're such a dick face. I normally like to drink coffee. Coffee. I want that. I hate you. I normally like to. I hate you so many times. I couldn't hate another human being more than I hate you right now.
Worth it. Worth it.
Yeah, I agree. What's that? Somebody says you got to set it to the background after. Jeremy, you ever tried Japanese? Yeah, I like some Japanese whiskeys. We've talked about it on here before. My favorite is Harmony. It's right
only what I've had is
Can you see that bottle over there?
Only Japanese whiskeys I've had is Hatazaki, which isn't as bad as I originally thought, and the one that everybody knows. What is the one that everybody says try?
Japanese whiskey?
Yeah.
Probably the Harmony is probably the one that most people recommend. It's
no, it's from Suntory. It's
a coffee one?
No, not Nika coffee. It's oh my god.
I can't think.
Hatazaki. Hang on, I'll just search.
Calvin says, "Remember we chat about stress and we keep talking about dick." Well, I mean, guys, that's a big part of our stress relief, right? I think I remember in the chat when we were actually talking about stress, somebody was saying that their relief is rubbing one out.
Hibiki.
Yeah, Hibiki Harmony. Yeah. That's the one I'm talking about. I mean, they make Hibiki. I think they make more than I think Harmony is a specific one of the Hibikis. But yeah, Hibiki Harmonies it's right here. Hold on. It's a really cool looking bottle. It is a
yeah. I love Hibiki.
It's a cool looking bottle. It's that's the dude. This is my second bottle of it. I just got this bottle not too long ago.
I can't find Hibiki. They have the Nika coffee and
see like the ridges on the bottle though. It's a cool looking bottle.
Yeah.
It's a very unique bottle. I don't know that I've ever seen any other bottle quite like that.
Steve says, "I'm just glad to say that Taylor's internet is fixed."
Steve, brother,
bro,
you and me both, man. You and me both. Because
I didn't say anything.
Damn, that was annoying.
I didn't say anything, but yesterday my upload speeds were 0.01 megabits per second. So I was a little nervous about today, but it seems that it's just through peak times for whatever reason. So when we do this podcast, it doesn't seem to be an issue, but yeah, it's really annoying. I'm really ready to be done with it. Let's take a couple more and then we should probably
start slowly wrapping up, because it usually takes us 20 minutes when we say that to wrap up.
How far should you let your beard grow, even with the top of your ears or mid-ear?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. Are you talking about out? Because
Like,
I shave mine so that it doesn't stick out too far. Otherwise,
yeah,
it like
I trim like this part of my beard. I do trim like from like from right about the bottom of my ear down. I don't trim it, so that's like long hair there. But like from about here up, I fade that into my hair and keep that short because right here, if I let that grow, it makes my face just look puffy and wide. So I trim that, and plus you have to blend into your hair. So unless you've
Yeah.
got really long hair, you kind of have to taper it into your hair. So I don't know if that's the question you're asking, but
look at that. I got a gap.
I've
They
got
don't
no
touch.
gap. Dude, I've got
no
no gap from the top of my head to my toes, bro. Like it all connects. Like my head grows into my beard grows down into my chest hair, which then goes down. I mean, I am the missing link. Like people are wondering our link between man and ape.
Look at this. So I shared a picture in the Discord. Let me pull it up real quick. I shared a picture in the Discord of me in March, and this is what COVID will do to a guy.
Yep.
There's no telling how long it's going to take me to find this.
I've had a hat on, but I've been letting the top of my hair grow out a little bit, and it's a fucking bit of a hot mess right now.
Oh, it's going to take a minute for me to find this.
Let's see. Clearly, he means standing on his head. If you're bad, let's see. I'm trying to see what else people are saying here. Good old man pelt. It's called man suit. It's called man suit. I have a man suit. I could almost go out naked and nobody would know. They would just be like, he's got on a hair jacket. It's all right. I really
so this was me in March.
Yeah, see, that just looks weird, man. Like, I'm not used to seeing you like that, right? So it would be like if I shaved my beard, everybody would be like, what the fuck?
But just wait. Look at this, though.
What?
This is today. I mean, obviously, you see me today, so you know that. But this is what the Discord has done. This is what happens if I let my hair grow. We're getting there. I'm pulling up stuff. But this is what the Discord has done. Because they're mean people.
Calvin said, have I ever tried Blue Mountain coffee? That sounds familiar. Blue Mountain coffee.
Blue Mountain coffee is like...
Is that the stuff from Jamaica?
I think so.
If it's the stuff from Jamaica, I have had Blue Mountain coffee. I had it when I went to Jamaica, and it was actually pretty good.
Blue Mountain has like a Keurig, like a K cup though, and it's not good.
Well, yeah, K cups suck, but
this is March. This was today.
Yeah, you need us. That's actually pretty damn. That's pretty. Yeah.
And this is if I let my hair grow a little bit.
Yep.
This is why I wear a hat every day, guys. My hair is fucking crazy. You can't do anything with this.
That is the progression of.
This is COVID.
This is COVID progression of how shit goes.
But wait.
Yeah, you do have Kramer hair. I never really thought about that, but your hair is very similar to Kramer.
Oh yeah, I 100% have Kramer hair, and then of course this.
Post Malone. Dude, I love Posty. I love me some Post Malone. I don't care.
I know you love. Wait. That's not the right picture. Hang on. This is the right picture. Oh man.
Post has gone next level with the face tattoos, and now his whole head's tattooed and shit. Like and I'm not one to judge for tattoos, please. But yeah, he has taken the tattooing to a new level.
Hey, again, we hit 1,000 concurrents. I will get my very first tattoo, one step closer to being a Post Malone knockoff, a most Malone, if you will.
Most Malone. David Shoemaker says, I'm killing him with the drops. Sorry, brother. They all landed kind of at the same time. It was kind of a blessing and a curse, right? It was a curse. We didn't mean for them to all land this close together. But just how it worked out with COVID delaying some, and some went quicker than others, and some still were supposed to have already been out and haven't. But it did work out that they all kind of landed on Christmas. So we've got a variety of stuff for people if you're interested in buying Christmas stuff, and there will be some different price points and stuff.
I am Post Martin. Jonas Scott said, Taylor, grow out your hair to your shoulders and your hair will look great. Actually, yeah, that's why I haven't gotten a haircut. My hair's getting really long and annoying right now, but I'm actually growing it out.
You going Peter?
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just not cutting it because why the fuck should I cut it? Why do I have to?
Go Peter McKinnon and just don't cut it for like 2 years at a time. That's what he does. He's like, I'm just not cutting my hair for 2 years. That's the deal. I've done that multiple times in my life.
I hate haircuts, and I used to have long hair. So if I have a long beard, Alex really wants me to shave my beard. She really wants it gone.
Why?
She hates
You know what they say about a guy that shaves a beard for his lady, right?
That he happy wife, happy life.
Nope. A man that shaves his beard for his wife or / girlfriend deserves neither. Meaning you don't deserve the beard if you shave it for her, and you don't deserve the woman. Be a fucking man. Grow your beard.
Wow. I'm sure Alex would disagree. No,
that's the
it was
point.
So funny. The last time I shaved, Alex told me, she was like, I feel like you're so much happier now. When you have a beard, for some reason, I feel like everything you say is mean. And I'm like, what? What does that make? Like, that doesn't even make sense. But yeah, I don't know. But I think that should probably about wrap it up. It's been 2.5 hours. And quite frankly, yeah, I got to take a piss. So
I thought for sure that between the antibiotic gut and the fucking mass amounts of water I've been drinking, I thought for sure I wouldn't make it to the podcast without having to do some kind of bathroom break. But I was good. I held in there. It was all good.
Well,
Taylor, is your flashlight going to be available in copper?
Not initially. Not initially. Actually, I had this pulled to the side really quickly. I know you're not super huge on Olights, and I'm not like a super fan of Olights, but their new
ooh, nice
Warrior Mini is in copper.
I do like that.
This is a big, heavy light, but the reason I bring this up is because similar to my flashlight, this has 2 operation modes. So you have your standard on with the side switch, but then you've got the tactical switch, I guess is what they call it. So you can
it's tactical.
You
have to do tactical.
So I love that 2 switch mode. So this is the S2 Arbiton 2 in copper. This one's got some patina on it.
You know the problem I have with flashlights. Patina. The problem I have with EDC flashlights is it is the first part of my EDC that I lose when I need to lighten my load, right? Like if I've got too much shit in my pockets and I need to lose something, my flashlight's the first thing that I'm like, okay, I don't have room for this today. Like
this one's in my pocket right now. Very small, very compact, great.
That is probably my favorite one because of how small it is, right? And bulletproof. I mean, that fucking thing is bulletproof.
I love this one and the Okluma DC0, but granted, the Okluma is like $450, and this version is like $160,
right?
Because it's titanium.
No, none of those are cheap. None of those Prometheus.
The standard ones are like $80, aren't they?
I don't. What's the standard? Do you mean like the copper, the brass,
aluminum, copper, brass, and electroless nickel?
I don't remember what I paid for mine. Mine's a brass one, obviously, because
they're $80.
Which for me is a lot for a flashlight that small. But I mean, I know they go up to $400 or $500. It just depends on what your budget is for that kind of thing. Everybody has their own thing.
This is the Prometheus Beta QR V2. QR meaning quick release, so it doesn't come with this clip. You have to buy the clip separate, but it has a quick release mechanism.
It's the quickly released right there.
Yeah, so you've got a spring down in there, which is your retention for either the clip or the quick release, which I have over in my toolbox.
Somebody said, good episode. Y'all need to get back to drinking whiskey. Buddy, trust me, I can't wait to get back to drinking whiskey. I've been staring at that right there. You can see it in this shot. Perfect. Where is it? Boom. You see that bottle right there? Wait, fuck. Hold on. Wait. God damn it. Doing this behind this bottle right now. Fuck. Why can't I do this?
Oh my God, Jeremy.
This bottle right here. You just zoomed out, you dick knuckle. I'm trying to fucking do this. I enjoy a good Truly.
I hate you so much.
Anyway,
he doesn't even like whiskey anymore. He likes Truly so much that.
Anyway, that bottle back there, I got right after I started this fucking antibiotic, and it's been staring at me, taunting me. So yes, I cannot wait to bust into a nice little pour of that on an episode and get back to drinking some whiskey. Trust me. You know more than me, my friend. Taylor was drinking whiskey tonight, though. You had some Port Charlotte.
I sure did, and some Lafroig. Jeremiah Daniel said, "Yo, a Rovivon in copper would be dope." My guy, I got some really good news for you. They got a copper one.
Oh, there you go.
And I'll be nice because I like affiliate links. Look at this. Boom. There you go. Copper Olight $50 or Rovivon is $50.
No, that is Octomore 10 year. It's not like a 10.1, 10.2, 8 point whatever. There's one that they have called 10 year, and that's the Octomore that it is. And I did take one little sip of it when I got it because I couldn't resist, even though I was on antibiotic, and it was fucking delicious. So I cannot wait to have a big old pour of that shit. I will say it has not been cheap. It was not cheap. That shit was like $300 or something crazy.
Oh, still got that up. All right. So that should probably.
We were trying to wrap it up. I forgot.
Yep. So what's going on in your world other than the drops you just did? Anything going on, Jeremy?
We did the whiskey drop. Like I said, don't be butthurt about the price. It is what it is. It was meant to be expensive. That's kind of the point. We got the whiskey glasses. We've got the ashtrays coming in very limited quantities. Probably in the next week or so. We got the Zippos out there. I should have a video out by Sunday, hopefully, because I haven't had a video this month. I've really been slacking, so I'm hoping by Sunday I can get something uploaded to the channel. What else have we got coming? Zippos out there, glasses out there, ashtrays. I just did the last drop of the of the brass man cards. They might be sold out though, because last time I checked, we only had a few. I dropped them this afternoon and they went pretty quick. I think last time I checked with Chad, we only had a few left. So at this point, they could be sold out. If they're not sold out, there's only a very few left at this point. So if you're interested in getting one of the brass man cards, get it now, because this was the last drop we're doing. We aren't doing any more of the brass ones. We will have a small drop of the copper. We're doing a small run of copper ones that we're going to drop sometime here in the next few weeks. And then there won't be any more of those, and we'll revamp it. We'll have a version 2 at some point, but there won't be any more of these. We're done with this run of them.
Can you do a small run for me to put on carry commission in titanium?
We can talk to Chad.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What else? So the man cards, the Zippos, the glass, the ashtrays are coming. Am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting something else we got coming. I feel like there's still something else. I don't know. Anyway, I think the flask is coming, but we're still prototyping. So I don't know if that'll be out before Christmas. That might be a Q1 of next year type drop. I'm not for sure. We'll see. We're also working on some whiskey hats and Glen stuff. Some other like cheaper options for people that, get butthurt about the price of these things. So yeah, lots more stuff coming, but in the near future, Zippo, whiskey glass, ashtray.
Matt Everly, what time is the wallet dropping? These will be on carry commission at noon on Friday. So noon Eastern on Friday. I also have, so this is
iMac Death is officially banned from the channel, by the way.
Oh God. That's one of my mods. What do you say?
He's banned. He's been banned. He's no longer allowed to watch.
Man card in recycled Truly bottles. Hell yes. Hell yeah. Also, I have, let me take that down real quick. So this was sticker pack number 1. Those sold out a long time ago, and I just got these in. So this is sticker pack number 2. So I've got the new carry commission logo.
You sent me some of those. You sent me some of those with the
Yep.
the last package when you sent me the knife.
Yep, I've got some American flags, the smaller best MEDC, and then the knife banner. Those are dropping with the wallets on Friday. And I've got an Olight video coming up this week, and next Friday is going to be my holiday gift guide. So that's all I've really got going on.
I've got that coming before the end of the month. I've got a holiday gift guide coming. That'll probably be like the very end of the month, like potentially like one of the last couple days of the month. It's going to be
like the 30th for me for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be. It depending on how the month goes, it might even land like the 1st or 2nd of next month, depending on if I can get caught up with some of the stuff, because I'm very far behind this month. But yeah,
Time for a Dram says Scotch is greater than any other whiskey. Fight me. I totally agree with you.
You know, man, I would have fought you about that probably 2 years ago.
And then you woke up.
Well, no, I honestly still lean a tad bourbon just because it's where I come from. Like I come from a bourbon background. I drank bourbon for years and years before I got into whiskey. So I think I always have a soft spot for bourbons. But I will say it's a much more even thing for me these days because there's so many really great scotches out there that are really special that I'm not going to say one is better than the other. It's going to be what kind of mood am I in and what am I in the mood for? You know what I mean? I'm not going to say one's better than the other. I would say even down the road, even Steven.
All right. So last thing real quick. You want to see how bonkers this new flashlight is? So this is the titanium version of the copper one I just talked about. It's pretty bright. Pretty damn bright.
Dude, where's that one light you had that was like the sun? That big fucking, yeah, that big motherfucker. That thing's like, that thing you literally you have to put on SPF when you use it. Like it's the brightest.
They just launched a new one, or they're launching a new one next week. Look at this.
Oh my God.
I can't see a damn thing. Oh my God.
Dude, that is crazy. Oh, dude, Brian said he just joined. I'm watching. He just said he got his $50 gift card from Scotch Malt Whiskey Society through the deal that I worked with them. That's awesome, dude. That's great, dude. They have some awesome shit on their site. Awesome stuff. They're great. And they're great people, man. They really are. It's a really cool thing. Dude, that flashlight is, that is bananas bright. How many lumens is that?
Like this is a bright flashlight. This is 1500 lumens. And this is what it looks like in a room.
And 1500 lumens, for all intents and purposes, is a fairly bright flashlight.
Yeah, this is a very bright flashlight. It will get very warm. This is 14,000 lumens.
14,000 lumens.
I mean, it just, you pointed up at the ceiling and it looks like I've got
14,000 lumens is like a search helicopter light.
And then it's got a spotlight mode.
Dude, that's so bright.
And the spotlight.
So I need a good light like that for my truck, like a truck light.
Dude, this is what you need for your truck is similar to this. This is what
I have historically kept in my truck is a good old school mag light because
this you can stick.
It's dual purpose, right? You can use it as a flashlight or you can beat somebody upside the fucking head if they act stupid. Dude,
if you chuck this at somebody, they're dead. They're dead.
He's like, this thing weighs 92 pounds. That's what somebody said about my glass. They're like, good job on the glass, dude. He's like, you could literally kill somebody with this thing because it's got some fucking heft to it. It is some heavy shit. Somebody said the man cards are gone. So yeah, they might be. I know the numbers were really low before the podcast started. I checked with Chad and there was only a few left. I put a post on YouTube to warn everybody that they were getting low. But yeah, Chad said, my boy Calvin said, I haven't done I haven't done any tech reviews in a while. I haven't been, Taylor comes from a tech world and me and him are in the same opinion. We've been very unimpressed with tech lately. There just hasn't been a lot of really cool shit. It just seems like slightly different versions of the same old thing over and over. And it's hard for me to get inspired to do a cool video on something that I'm not pumped about. And I just haven't been real pumped about any tech lately, man. When something comes up that I'm pumped about, I'll do a review for sure. But I haven't been super pumped on any tech lately. I am thinking about changing my setup to a super ultra wide monitor. And if I do that, I'll do a review on the monitor when I get it. I want to get one of those 49-inch ultra fucking wide jobs. Like, curved fucking situations because I have a triple monitor set up right now and I'm thinking about going to just one single fucking dumb wide monitor.
All right. I think that's probably a good spot. So
yeah, man, we said that like 5 times, then we keep getting on other shit. But
Jeremy, real quick Sires, everybody.
Quick Sires in full effect.
Real quick Sires. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us. And
yeah, man, it was fun. Had a good time.
We will be back same time next week, 8 p.m. Wednesday night, barring any technical difficulties, which I always have. So hopefully we'll be good. But you can pretty much count on us being here unless otherwise posted.
We're going to talk turkey.
We are going to talk turkey.
See what I did there?
And you can find all of our stuff linked down below. All the merch we talked about. all the merch we talked about All of our social, everything is down below or in the show notes if you're listening to the audio only. And until next time,
Go buy a $100 whiskey glass. Kiss my ass. They're $100.
Enjoy
They're
a
awesome.
good truly.
You had to do that. You
had
had to
to.
fucking do it one last time, didn't you? You
nope,
had
one
to.
more. Oh,
Oh,
wrong button.
That
Enjoy a good truly.
it actually that noise, that Tinkerbell noise, should come before the I enjoy a good truly, or it should. You could blend those two together.
Dude, that's true. Hang on.
I enjoy a good truly.
That's perfect. That's so good, dude.
I have
hate
nothing
you.
else to
I
say.
hate you. I hate you.
I love
all.
you, Jeremy.
I love all you
Jeremy.
guys. I hate him.
See you guys.
Except for you guys that bitched about the $100. I hate you guys. I'm just